Yes, the great, the one, the only, Zidane.
The great gangster goes. Where'd everybody go? I saw you by yourself again, so I came to say hi, buddy.
They knew you were coming, so they got scared and run off. I joke.
Oh, they heard my footsteps, huh?
Yeah, I just joke.
They heard me coming. 3, 5, 4, 1. What's up, buddy? How's your day going?
Going good.
Nice. A little bit, but I think I can hear you.
Yeah.
That was sorry. I can hear you. Go ahead.
What are you gonna say?
I said that was crazy, huh? Daniel showed the
Yeah,
other night. They had
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Well, I want to ask you. Yeah, what do you think of Trump sending people over to Washington D.C. to clean it up?
I think we should clean this whole country up, gangster.
Yeah.
Get the Muslims out, get the immigrants out, anyone who's against the like the Declaration and the Constitution.
Oh. Like
Do you mean freedom of religion? Does that include you?
are you
Yeah,
there?
so what I mean is people who can say we hold these truths to be self-evident, and Muslims can't say that.
Oh. Oh, kitty mama. Hi, kitty mama. But yeah. It was crazy. Uh, do you think what if they yeah, in Washington help? I heard they get the homeless some place to live and stuff and help them out. That's good.
Yeah, how's that going, gangster?
Yeah, I heard they're doing that and stuff. Help Washington out. Like,
So now they're not homeless.
yeah, they're home full.
Oh, now they're now they're home full.
Yeah, hey, that's good. Are you there, Pixie?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
You like America, gangster?
yeah,
Are you an American gangster?
yeah. And in the UK it was crazy there. Uh, you had to pay for license for TV. It was crazy. And uh, they patched a new law where you had to show your ID will face scan to go on the website.
Oh, they were face scanning you, gangster.
No, but you had to do that. They started a law there. That was crazy.
So how'd you get around the law? You just
No,
did you put a mask on? You put like Leatherface?
oh hi, manager. But no, I didn't have that. But uh, it was crazy. Just started a law like that was crazy. I understand they want to protect.
Yeah, but
Go,
hey, wouldn't that be cool though if you had like a Leatherface like mask and then you could like use the Leatherface mask to get through that face scan.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like the guy on Texas Chainsaw.
yeah. Like Lupin is the real life Leatherface.
Or you could like walk around in a burqa and be in disguise. No one would even know it was you.
Oh, like,
You could do that too.
No one will bother you or
I say, hey, I can see Gangster walking around Boston. I'm like, Gangster goes, yeah, you? And he's like, no, no, it's Lady
like aloha snack bar.
Ada.
what your initials are being.
I said, did you say Alu Akbar or what is the snack bar?
I had to come back on because I saw the comments and I agree 100% with you, David. Like being a stepdad and being a dad are two completely different things. Like it's completely different. it is different.
And maybe more different from a man's perspective, since it's like just different than how a woman would view a kid, you know?
I will agree.
I
No,
think
if
a
anything,
woman would
it'd
do
be
it even
more.
more
It's more
differently.
likely.
Yeah, because the
Exactly,
baby
Jess.
comes out of
Exactly.
them. So, like,
I
did
don't,
this
Yeah.
I
kid
don't know.
come
I
out
think
of me or not?
my husband agrees with you more than I do on that. Like, I don't. To me, like my nephews are my nephews, and just like to my dad, his stepdad was his dad, right? Not his real dad. He knew
Yeah.
both of them, and he specifically told his father, "You are not my dad. He is." And when he talked about his dad, when he spoke
But
about his
no, you're
dad,
wrong. You're
that's
wrong
when
because
he's
he is.
speaking
It
about his
doesn't
Well,
make
he's
it
his
stepdad.
true.
father.
That's a delusion. That's a delusion.
However you want to
That's a
take it, he's a
delusion. It doesn't
biological.
matter. Yeah.
Well, he
I
told
have
him that. He said, "You are my father, but you are not my dad. He is my dad."
Yeah.
okay.
Uh, I think it's for people to not think
Zayden's
that.
in the
So
Matrix.
you're in good company, Jess. Because I don't even think it's negotiable.
Almost like
I
being
would
on
just
his
go
show.
adopt a kid if what Pixie's saying was true, but it's not. So I need to find
Yeah.
a wife and make my own child.
I wanted to adopt kids.
Okay.
I still kind of do. And they would be my kids. They would just be my kids. I don't know.
If you go to the Philippines, you could get one that's like a newborn, like infant, for about $5,000 altogether.
Oh, I lost service, but I had a good point.
Infant. I'd adopt
Yeah,
older
see,
kids.
Zayden,
Me
if
and
you
her
have
have been looking at
$5,000,
it.
if you have $5,000, you just get a Filipino and bring it home.
The other cool thing, which I
Yeah,
don't think it'll work,
what I'm trying,
is
but even
you don't have to deal with immigration, because if you go to the U.S. embassy there and you're married, but you have to be married, and you guys are both like citizens, the kid is like automatically a citizen once you adopt it.
Yeah.
So then it never has to go through like the green card and all that crap. But we were looking at that because I want a son. And I was like, yeah, maybe we should just adopt one. And then it's also like we're saving somebody. Because even if, like over there, dude, even if they're a loser and work at McDonald's in America, they're like a million times better off.
yeah, no.
Wait, you
So- being an
just-
orphan
Clay,
there.
you're actually
You just
so
said
go
it's not the same.
go adopt
You
that
just said it's-
child.
Yeah.
You said it's not the same,
Clay-
but you want a son. Why would you
That's
adopt
not the
somebody
same.
you didn't consider your son? I don't understand.
Exactly. So Clay, you could go adopt that son, and in 20 years, I get like you're gonna love your biological daughter more differently than you do that adopted son. There's just no way around it.
And also with your adopted son, there's literally the possibility of when he's old enough, he's like, hey, I'm going to bring my real parents over here. And
Yeah,
that can
like
literally happen.
it's not even a it's not even a debate. It's like biologically a fact. It's like,
Yeah. And the
'Cause,
other
like, if
thing,
that
though,
was
is like
the case,
biological
we would
kids.
no one just don't have no more babies. Everyone adopt.
My biological kids, like, even though my last name won't live on to them if they get married or whatever, but I still like contributed to the gene pool.
No, yeah. Forget your last name. You can give anybody you want your last name, but it's not your genes being passed on.
Yeah,
You
no.
adopt a son and give him your last name. That's not your bloodline.
Yeah, you're basically ending your line and raising someone
What
else
is so
for them.
important about?
I
Yeah,
don't
if you
know.
have
biology
kids
is
already, like
fact. You can
biological, though,
feel.
like,
so
You can
important about
feel
the
like it's
lineage of
nothing.
Christ?
But
Why was
it's
the
like-
lineage
No,
of Christ
I'm
so
not saying it
important,
like
right?
that. I'm not saying it like that. Why is that more important than like the idea of the legacy left behind? Like what people remember and carry from you? Like why is
because it's like genetically,
I don't understand.
it's more like you're
And
actually
how
like
do you
immortal.
decide?
It's literally what men are made to
What
do.
about-
You
wait,
wouldn't
because-
understand. You're a woman. We impregnate.
Well-
You get impregnated.
Look, coming from somebody who believes in the Bible, apparently we all had the same genes at some point, and we all come from the same created people. So everybody's DNA is comes from the same people from the same family. So no family line is dying out here. And when one family line, quote
There
unquote,
is family lines.
quote,
There were
unquote,
literally different families, and then all these lines came from those different families.
What you
Like
mean
that's
Noah's
what a
family,
family
and
line
before that
is.
Adam and Eve?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
saying like my son and my daughter are two different people, right? And if they both have kids, those are two new family
Okay,
lines.
so what is this genetic thing? Because for example,
Oh,
I have one kid and it's a girl, right? So when she gets married, she's going to take his last name probably because tradition in where she lives, right? So she's going to take his last name. Now, she is the only grandchild on her father's side. So technically, he has something genetic out there. On paper, his family line is ended. Which one's more true to you?
They're both. They
Why do
both
you think?
suck because you'd like to see
Yeah.
them both live on, but genetics is probably more important at the
Yep.
end of the day.
Yep.
But from a man, like I want to see my name, because my last name will end with me because I have all sisters, you know.
Mhm.
Unless my daughter's like a lesbian.
Yeah, I'm my dad's only kid.
Oh,
And
here's my proof that Clay does have a son. Here he is. See?
that's me.
He's like, Clay has a son, and then he cams up, and I'm like, oh shit.
It's a weird app that turned.
But besides like even the name stuff and stuff, I think it'd be cool to adopt a kid from one of those countries. Maybe it's like a white savior syndrome thing, but in reality, it would be like you would really, really make a difference to like a human, you know, who would probably
just-
never have anything ever.
But I think also there's the problem in a modern world of like this moral relativity, like everything is just relative, and you know it's just it's a matter of a sum of bits and pieces, and it's the thought that counts and all that. But there's stuff that goes back further and deeper than all of that, and I think people don't really think about that your family, like part of your identity is the generations of your family. I think too many people just look at things in a very individualistic short-term way, and they're not thinking about the previous legacy of family. They're not thinking about maybe they have ancestors that survived this and this and this, and like, how am I even here? It's a miracle, right? Like maybe your families in the past survived famine. We all came from people who survived war, somewhere down that line, like we are the offspring of survivors who survived horrible things. Going and raising someone else's family who survived different things, that's just a different idea.
That's kind of like everybody
It's
though,
kind
because like
and it's
Wait,
benevolent.
what do you mean survived different things? Like, okay, my DNA covers more than half the globe. Literally, my DNA covers more than half the globe. My ancestors were both enemies and friends with my other ancestors. What story am I supposed to follow, and which one is the outsider? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, actually, that
whichever one is
you
the
you just
coolest to
argued
you.
against yourself, because it's actually a pretty cool story that you have a lineage where some of them used to be enemies and somehow they got together and made you. So yeah, that actually proves my point.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But it happened over and over and over again, to the point where my DNA, if you look at my DNA results, I like it was hilarious because my husband's results, he is pure Northern European and Scandinavian. I mean, he's a mix, but he is a mix of Northern European and Scandinavian. That's
I'm
it.
German,
That
Irish,
is
and
it.
Native American, and
And
that's it.
I have like half the freaking globe. So when you say these humans experiencing human things somehow survived different things, what part of my lineage is the outsider? Is it
So what is your identity then? Is your identity just in a relative here and now and your personal idea of what your identity is? Or does it have to do with something of what your family identity was and how all that developed? You can say it's all over the world, but it's
I
gonna be
I wouldn't
impossible that you
say
have DNA from every
I would say that
culture and every race.
I would say that I had a lot of conflicting influences growing up, actually, and I wouldn't call them very cohesive. I have I have family that is very native and very traditionalist, and I have family that is very European and Christian. I have a grandfather who was a preacher and a grandmother who ran away from a reservation when she was 15 years old. So I don't know. I have a lot of influence in my life, and I'm very thankful for all of them. I definitely leaned a particular way, especially at different phases in my life. But I wouldn't say that like I identify with both sides,
Yeah.
which
So
is why hold more personally is a different question.
my main identity, considering, would be the German refugees who fled to the Appalachia of Tennessee. And I have Germans on both sides of my line who fled oppression, who fled, and this was before World War One, but they fled things that were going on there. So, like, that's where my identity is of the German people coming to America, um, before any of that stuff ever happened, and kind of having to see what became of our homeland, you know? And like that's a big part of my identity. And also my native roots are a big part of my identity as well. But I do think it is important to have some kind of cultural identity and not be some kind of universalist. You have to have something that ties you to a
You mean
people.
values?
Yeah, values.
Okay, sure, I can
And
get
the
behind
things you
that.
came from, and the stories that a lot of us don't even care enough to go back a couple generations and to just look at what we came from and the stories of our people, right?
No, but I think if you look at how fucked up my DNA, oh sorry, I'm sorry, Ghost. If you look at how
Yeah,
mixed, my DNA is, right?
yeah,
How just absolutely mixed it is. I think it shows that it is perfectly possible to carry the same values and reproduce and have a life and all of that stuff coming from different backgrounds and different cultures. If that were not the case, if this were somehow like a horribly unsuccessful thing, I clearly wouldn't exist.
sure.
Everybody, guess who's here?
I think it means your ancestors were like conquerors, and like actually pretty cool. Or not
Some of
cool,
them
but
were,
like
some
powerful,
of some of them were,
I
some of them
guess.
were not. Some of them just happened to be a group that like migrated a lot, like a lot, but
Yeah.
not in like a conquering way.
So
And
do you
some
have
of
like
them were
gypsy in
conquered.
you? Or like Roma?
I have I have
Do you say
Middle
that just
Eastern.
because you
I have Middle Eastern. I do have some Gypsy blood. I have Jewish blood. I have Native American. I have French and German and British, and I have two more Native American, and then I have I don't know. Like I have Iberian and Sardinian. I am a mutt. I am literally a
I
mutt.
have a little
have you
sub-Saharan
ever
African, so I can say it.
stop it?
Well,
have
everybody,
you ever
I'm just kidding.
have you ever really dug into why have you ever really dug into why, like, you come from so many groups, like what the story about that is? Because it is pretty unusual, unless it's just like a lot of people mixing in a metropolitan area of some kind. It's more common nowadays, but as far as going back further in your line,
So one of my groups, Iberians, they were known for like just taking off and exploring and migrating, not in like a conquering sort of way, but just like migrating and spreading out. So I'm sure that's where I got that influence.
Is
Sardinian, I don't know.
Iberian Spanish?
It's the peninsula by Spain, yeah. And
well,
then
everybody,
Iberia is the
Like the
and then
Iberian
Sardinia.
Peninsula?
And then Sardinia is the boot off of Italy. So, I mean, the ball off the boot of Italy. So, where that came from in my bloodline, I'm not quite sure. I think the Ashkenazi Jewish came from the German part of my family. And there's a lot of preachers in that family, actually. That's
Mhm.
my mom's dad's side. And then my the most Cherokee out of the three groups, the most blood native blood I have is Cherokee. And I think the reason I even have the other two is because of the Cherokee, because they were actually known for like their politics and helping other tribes, and they would they would intermarry with people from the outside a lot. Especially like the Chickasaw and things like that. They would intermarry with other tribes a lot.
Everybody.
And so
I would
that's pretty mixed. There were missionaries in my family. Some of my family came over on the Mayflower. I don't know. Like I'm just a mutt. I'm just a mutt.
I
Oh,
People
I
met
would
people.
I would really love to hear Open Borders Dan's opinion on this subject.
hi,
What is the
Dan.
subject? Hi.
We were so David brought up like that we were talking about how being a stepdad or an adopted parent is just not the same as having your own child. And then we were debating about like why that is, and shared lineage, shared heritage, shared cultural identity, your family line, talking about, the line of, Mary and Jesus, like why these things are important to who we are.
Like, so I don't know where you guys were going with it, but I would say it's much harder to build that family relationship with someone who's not blood related. So
Yeah.
adopted people, there's that much more love. And that's like what we can see with God too, is like we are adopted by God, even though, yeah, we were created by God. So it's like, oh, aren't we already kind of already
We're
connected in
also
that way?
actually his children at the same
Yeah,
time.
we're
We're adopted in a sense of us coming
leaving and
from.
coming back. Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
prodigal.
We're
Yeah,
adopted like
exactly.
a prodigal situation, so we're still God's children. So,
Yeah.
I just think that, like, I look at the way society is, like, set up now, and like, it's very cosmopolitan, and, like, I don't have any problem with multiculturalism and, like, people coming together, but I think that there's really no longer as much of a shared culture, particularly here. There are still places where there's a lot of shared culture, where people experience a lot of the same things, maybe have the same biblical values, come up understanding, living a similar life, and then we get together, we live together, and we have a good long life and have lots of kids. Like, me and my wife got together later in life, but me and her are more similar than I ever could have predicted because we're both kind of farm kids. Like, I have a lot of farmers in my family. We both have German heritage and Native American heritage. So we have a lot of these things we share, and I've noticed there are differences, but there's also a lot of similarities because of our similar nature and our similar cultures that we come from. And I think that that's a good thing when it comes to our identity and having a strong identity.
Well, I have two thoughts. One is that a priest is a father to an entire community, regardless
Amen.
if they're black, they're white, no matter what. And, as Christians, we do have the shared culture of Christianity. However, what's supposed to happen in a nation, and it hasn't happened here in America yet, and that's why Americans still have a hard time with orthodoxy, and they see this was talked about a lot on Ancient Faith last night. Someone from my parish was on there, so this is why it's fresh in my mind. But it's strange in the West to see cultures that are so ingrained with Christianity, and we seem to think that that's maybe a wrong thing. Like you look at the Orthodox in Russia, and it's like it's so part of being a Russian,
Or
or
the
in Greece,
Greeks.
it's so part of being Greek, and so on and so forth. And you can see it in groups like the Amish, where it's like it's part of what their culture is, where we
And
don't have that
they
as
have
much
less
here.
divorce. They have less divorce because they come up from a shared culture where they're held to similar account and similar standards with each other to stay together, because you have a lot of similar people who, if you descended from them and then you marry someone that's from a family that's like your family, uh your parents are going to get along with their parents to some extent and hold you both accountable to stick it out and do the right thing.
Yeah, so I guess my real like landing point in all
You
this
mean
is like
we haven't been
what is
unconstitutional yet? You're right. We have
well,
not yet been unconstitutional.
well my whole point, just before I lose it here, is like that it's about why do we have our shared culture. There we go. That's my point that I want to make. Is it because we look the same, or is it because we believe the same? And if we believe in the same God, we can actually be of one culture no matter what we look like. But if we don't have the same God, then it's just not going to work. It never
Yes,
does.
but we can believe in the same God, which a lot of us do, and have massively different theological concepts of things that causes mass confusion. So that can also be a problem, right? So,
Well,
like,
okay.
just the, you
Yeah,
know
I
what I
don't mean in
mean?
the Protestant sense, I guess. I
Yeah,
mean when I
yeah,
say believe in the same God, I mean theologically we believe in the
yeah.
same God, same characteristics,
Okay. So yeah, like
no changing
in
who
a
God is.
So,
so
so you mean we
I'm
need
in a
to get
very
rid of
diverse.
freedom of religion, right? We need to get rid
Yeah,
of freedom of religion.
no one
We
said that.
need. Well, we all have
No
to
one
have
said
this
that.
shared. We all have to have this shared value. He said it is part. He said it is part of being American, just like it's part of being
Well,
whatever, right? So if
no,
it's
it's
part of
not.
being American, then I can't be American without it, right? So we got to
What
we
are you
got to get
talking?
rid
I
of
don't even
freedom
know
of
what you're talking
religion.
about. Can you
What
Yeah,
else?
what do you mean
take
part
a
of being
couple
an
leaps
American?
back?
I said it's difficult in America because we don't have this.
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying we're
don't
Oh,
have
okay.
broken because
Look,
we do
look,
not
here's the
have this.
thing.
We're
Here's the
So you're
thing,
deprived of
though.
it.
advocating
It's
for
not a
it. That's what
matter.
I'm
Wait,
saying. So
it's
what else
not a
are you
matter
advocating
of.
for?
It's not a matter of enforcing it. It's the matter that this thing works and keeps families together and supports communities. And people who don't do it this way, their communities fall apart.
I don't think that's true.
I definitely
If that
think
was
that's
if
true.
that was true, why was America a superpower for so long? Because we were just so broken, we made it to the top. Because our values are so backwards, we suck so bad. I mean, I don't understand like what sort of argument you're trying to make.
Well, we're one of the first countries to ever fight to be our own country in this way that we did. I mean, especially in the time that we did it. So I'm not sure where you're going with that. But we're talking about family identity and culture, and you're talking about the Constitution now.
No,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, you mean within the home. But see, I
Yeah,
still don't
I'm not
understand
a
your concept.
socialist
I
or
still don't.
an yeah, I don't believe that, like, everything has to be ascribed across every border and every
You
like, I'm
think
not a globalist in that sense.
so?
I understand there's different communities and different statehoods and different towns and cities and neighborhoods.
But that's what I was. But even in a family unit, you think they have to have the same religion or the same culture to be functional?
I
Like I
believe that if you share culture, you share a specific religion, especially if it's rooted in heavy values and traditionalism, that you will have a better outcome. You look at the Jewish people, they have better outcomes. Look at Asian communities, they typically have a better outcome because of social cohesion.
Or the Swedish people, like
Mhm.
deviant outcasts, like their cultures, they have almost no crime.
Yeah. Because
I mean,
they are not individualistic in that way. They see themselves as all part of one another, and they're not hyper individualistic, so they
Like
can't
we
say,
are.
"Oh, I can just screw this person over because 'cause they're not me. That's
I can
someone
give
else."
you. See, that's what I'm saying though.
That's the American
I
way.
can
It's
give
like we're
you.
all
That's
one
the
island.
American way.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I can give you culturally, right? Because I think that doesn't boil down to just religion. In a lot of cases, it includes religion. In almost every case, it includes religion. I will give you that. But I
It's a
don't think
shared
culture.
social cohesion.
I
We're not
don't.
talking about just religion or statehood or constitution. I'm talking about this
You're not.
primal
You're not.
level
Which is
of a
why I was
shared tribe, a
Badger.
cohesion.
You are not. Which is why I'm asking him because he was. He specifically brought religion into it and said that
Okay.
this was the missing piece.
Well, Dan always talks about orthodoxy whenever he can,
So
so I
I am
mean,
saying I understand the values. You have to have shared values. Got it. I 100% agree.
yeah.
You have to have maybe not the same culture, but maybe some cultural similarities. Maybe you don't have to have them, but would it make things so much easier? Absolutely. We're there together. But you're
Yeah.
losing me at
Let's say my wife
society
came
needs
from a
religion.
culture. Let's say
Everybody
my
needs the
wife
same
came from a
religion.
culture where she was okay with abortion, and we got pregnant with our third kid, and she's like, you know what, we just can't do this. We're I'm gonna get rid of the baby, and like, and I'm where I'm at. I'm where I'm at mentally and spiritually, and that would destroy our family.
Right, that goes into values. I understand. I
Yes.
understand values, but what I'm saying is religion. What if she's, let's say, not even atheist. Let's say you're Baptist and she's a Presbyterian or Episcopalian or Catholic, who knows, right? Or maybe she's agnostic and she goes to church with you, but this isn't like her center focus, right? Like she's not praying before bedtime or whatever. But she's very supportive of you and she doesn't ever question it. Is it essential that she has the same view of God as you? Or
Yes.
is the shared
Absolutely.
values enough?
Absolutely. And I should actually, my wife is even more
That's
committed to
interesting.
the church than I am, and I should strive to be more like that. So,
That's interesting to me.
absolutely, yes. That's what brings us together. Me and my wife's marriage is always better when we were both focusing on God, when we were both focusing on the culture of our church, we were both in our community, when we were both in our traditions and our prayers and doing those things together. That is what binds us together because it's not an individualistic thing. It's us choosing to plug into that thing and literally becoming one.
Okay. No, I'm not trying to mix worldviews, Den. If you heard me
Mhm.
earlier, I came from a lot of family that had conflicting views. I was raised in two completely different cultures, right? And I grew up interacting with both of those cultures. Both of those cultures have big influences on me, right? If you look at my genealogy, this is a pattern in my family history, these conflicting cultures coming together. So it's not that I'm trying to mix. The world has already mixed them. Sorry to tell you, if the world hadn't mixed it before me, I wouldn't be here. Maybe because I came from such a mixed background, I your responses are not the ones that come naturally to me. And that's okay. I never said I'm right, and I never said he was wrong. I said that's interesting because it is. So
Even if you
keep
come
your
from a
assumptions to
mixed
yourself.
background though, but even if you come from a mixed background, you can put yourself into a culture like this and adhere to it, and it becomes a
Can heal you.
major part of who you are, and then you are plugged in. You are plugged in and you belong. And
But
so many people are searching for that.
Yeah,
but
like
that's what I'm saying.
America is full
I
of
don't
pixies, Pixie. Like this is common to be in a mixed up spiritual situation. The
No, that's
church
not
will
what I'm
I
heal
would
saying.
you.
wanna escape that if I felt the way
No,
you
that's
did.
not what
I
I'm
Yeah.
would
saying.
want that cohesion.
There
So
is there's a place to
my
get out of that confusion.
my grandmother um was a believer, and although she did not believe quite the way her husband did, she went to church with him every time the doors were open. They prayed before meals. She didn't pray before bed. He did. Whatever. Um but they shared the same value. They did not come from the same
They didn't.
cultures. Not at all. They did not anywhere close to come from the same cultures. They didn't share
There's a
quite the
difference
same. Hold on.
between
They didn't
tolerating who
share.
someone is and
I'm not
embracing
done.
who they are.
They didn't share quite the same views on God. Not at all. I would say my grandfather probably had, or her husband, my who I considered my grandfather, probably had much stricter views about God than
Mm.
she did. By far, by far, by far.
What makes them
She came
stricter?
she came from a culture, she didn't grow up hearing, like, good and bad, good and evil, black and white. She came from a culture that was, very much values balance, and it showed. It showed in who she was and where she placed her values. It just happened to very, very much so complement her husband. Now, would I consider them like the same culturally? No, but I think they happen to have a particularly beautiful marriage, and I think they made a particularly beautiful blended family. And I think the way he supported her differences and the way she supported his was absolutely lovely.
So do you think having a clear delineation of what good and evil is a positive or a negative? Or is it just different?
Well, it's not like the concept of what was good or bad, like beneficial or harmful,
Well, you
wasn't
said good and
there,
evil.
right? Well, I meant like in like the spirit, like, how do I explain that? Okay, the ending to the story is the best way to explain it. If you hear the European take on the native story, it ends with the boy. They're talking about the two wolves inside the person, right? The white wolf and the black wolf. If you hear the very European told version of the end of that story, it says, the little boy asks the wise man which wolf wins, and the wise man answers, whichever one you feed the most, right? Indicating like you feed the white wolf, you feed the good wolf, right? So it's not like they did, but that's not the ending to the story. Now the real ending to the story in from her cultural perspective, right, is there is the white wolf and there is the black wolf. So there is that sense of positive force and negative force and how you wield it. But when he asks which one wins, the wise man doesn't answer whichever one you feed the most, right? He answers, well, the white wolf provides you with compassion and love and loyalty and honor, right? But the black wolf, that provides you courage and strength and the ability to protect your family.
You just
And
described moral relativism.
And if you starve, no, listen, this is a story that they tell. If you starve the black wolf, then the black wolf will lash out at unpredictable times. But if you manage both wolves, right? If you can take care of both of them, then they will both serve you well. So it's not about it's not moral relativism, because they don't want you to lash out in negative ways. They have concept of negative and harmful and bad, right? But it's not this true, it's not a dichotomy, because if I do the same act here that I did over there, it may be justified in one instance and not in the next instance. And that's the same in the Bible.
That's
Don't
moral
kill.
relativism.
It's no more relative than the Bible's relative. It's no more relative than God.
No, there are clear delineations for things. There's grace for things, but there's also clear delineation.
Don't kill unless I tell you to kill. Yeah, okay.
Jess and Pixie, I'm the only one who knows the real story behind the two wolves. Inside of every man, there are two wolves, and they both are gay.
They're furries.
No, I'm serious. That story actually came from
Remember
her culture.
Anson used to just get drunk and say he's a wolf?
What's that? Yeah, no, what are you talking about? What did you just say?
Anson, when he used to be like, I'm a wolf, and it's like, I did it, you guys. I said it.
Yeah, that's an inside joke, though, man. No one's gonna get that. But yeah.
What's going on with Wildheart, Pixie? Because he sent me an email on that Google Hangout or whatever, and I don't really understand what he said. All I really understood was like, not
can I go
good.
back to the? Can I go back? Like, I guess, Dan, was that your way of saying you're bored of this conversation?
Oh no! I just wanted to get a joke in there so bad. Okay. I was like, man, I'm just waiting so I can get my edge in. I see what you're doing. You're cooking with moral relativism. Go ahead, you can continue.
But the moral relativism stuff, like the thing is that it devolves culture into a bunch of people that don't care about anything except for whatever's comfortable or whatever's cool today. And so that's the problem with that. If you don't have clear delineations of what's right and what's wrong and what your culture is and what your identity is and what your family's about, and like the leadership in the family and all of these things, you just have a bunch of lost people just trying to figure it out, and it's like they have amnesia every day because it's just like whatever today. Like what
You think
what
there's
was
no
it
leader in
wasn't
the
cool for
family?
me to do that last week, but now it is. You know, I really shouldn't do this, but now I kind of feel like doing it, so I'm going to go ahead.
It
No,
feels
it's
right.
not like
Where
that.
It
yeah,
feels
It's
right
not
inside
like
my
it
heart.
feels right.
it's not like that. It's more like don't take a running leap at your brother and tackle him. But if he's chasing the ball and there's a car coming, do take a running leap at your brother and tackle him out the way. Right?
But
It's
that,
the act of tackling. Is it good or bad?
But if you're a
Depends
moral
on what situation he's
relativist, you
doing
can't
it
even
in.
see
Is
your
it
brother
not?
going in front of the car because you're
Oh my
wearing like
gosh.
poop stained glasses and you can't
You're
even
that's
you
what
can't
you're
even see
saying
what
it
they're
is.
doing.
I'm saying the act can be good or bad depending on the situation it's done in.
yeah,
And you
but
can
is
be
there
upset
ever
at
a
that or
time,
not be upset at that. I don't care.
Pixie, is there ever a time when it's okay to kill someone in your idea? Is it ever okay?
To kill or murder, because those are two different things.
Is it a fetus or a human walking around? That's what some people would that's what some people go
Yeah,
directly to.
okay. I just mean like ending somebody's life. You are choosing to end somebody's life. Is it ever okay to do that?
I don't know, but if you come at my kid with a gun and I shoot you, I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there ever a time when you would not protect your child?
No.
Okay, so you're an absolutist in some things.
When it works for you, right? So
Yeah, that's
if
that's
it
that's
me.
the that's the whole
That's
point,
me,
babe.
right?
what? But
No,
if
but
it
that's
If you want
serves
to
your
think
that
that
doesn't make
it can
any
always
sense.
be
That
good or
doesn't wait,
bad,
hold on,
you gotta.
hold on.
Yeah, is
Unless
rape
you're
ever a good
saying,
thing?
okay, unless you're, I never said I didn't personally have my own absolutes, but I also never claimed that my personal absolutes were the truth and should be everybody's absolutes. Now, if you can make an
So is it your
argument
feelings
for,
that dictate this? Like how you feel about something? Is that what
what do you
dictates
mean?
whether so like the way you feel about something. So you feel that somebody shouldn't harm your child. So at that point it's okay to harm them if they're potentially going to harm your child, right?
No, my
Is that the
feelings don't come into
justification?
it.
So if
I
there's a
don't
That's the
feel,
society that says
justification.
it's always wrong to hurt children,
feel,
then there's an
yeah,
actual reason for it.
but I also
Huh.
think it's wrong for me to hurt somebody, right? I also feel like it's wrong for me to hurt somebody. It's not going to stop me from hurting you if you're
Yeah.
coming after my kid. So it's not
Oh.
about my feelings. You just stay that's my kid,
Mhm.
and she is my favorite person in the whole world. Good,
Okay.
bad, or ugly. You're not fucking coming at her because you're going to go through me.
So
Period.
Okay,
so
so
killing someone
I
can be
can agree
justified
with
by
you
your
with a kid
preference?
because society agrees with you, a kid. That's an
Yeah,
absolute
yeah.
truth. That the kid is off the table. But what if you really care about a pedophile that hurts kids? And you say,
Yeah.
nobody's touching him. Nobody's touching him. I'm protecting him. And if anyone tries to get to him, he's gotta go through me first. Is that okay? Because you
Or
feel
what
in
if
your
that
heart
was
that
your
someone
kid,
you really
right?
care
What would
about?
you do? Like, what would you do about it if that was your kid that was
What do you
doing
mean? What?
something horrible?
Because this is the problem with moral relativism, and then it's just up to everybody. Whoever thinks like,
Mhm.
oh, I really care about that person. Like, we can all agree that kids need to be protected.
Of
Let's
course.
flip the script. Can you still say the same things? Can you still say like,
Yeah.
well, if I really want to protect this pedophile, then nobody can stop me because that's how I feel.
But you guys are the one that are taking it there and making it about this. I never implied that. When I said
I'm
balance
trying to
and one
walk you
serves
into
you
the
well,
philosophical implications of what you're saying. Like, I want you to see like why it breaks
no,
down.
you think that's the philosophical implications of what I'm saying. And I am saying that it is not. Just like you don't tell the soldier you hand a gun to, murder is bad, don't go
Mhm.
kill people. And you don't if somebody says, "Are you hiding Jews in the attic?" you say no, right? And
That's different.
if your kid brother is running out in front of a car, then by all means take a leaping tackle at him. Don't do it on any normal Tuesday, but hell yeah, do it now.
Can you do something for
So
me, Pixie? Can
the
you
cool thing about like all of your examples is that like the Christian faith has an answer for all those things.
Yeah,
We have to follow the law of God.
we have a whole
Absolutely.
system. Yeah.
So like when you come like
Dan
when you're
made
talking about
this
like looking
audio
for the
avatar of
Jews,
me.
Stop it.
Dan
What?
made this
I
picture
thought
with
that was
AI.
I thought that was Dan for a second.
So Clay likes to make AI images, and he keeps making AI images of me dressed up like a woman, giving him kisses, and he keeps sending them to me in the morning. You need to stop it, man. It's gross. It's freaking me out. I know you have a wife.
See, even Clay believes in moral relativism.
This is what happens when you hang out with people like Pixie.
That's what I said. You can't accuse me. Yeah, mine's relative because I am a person with a relative perspective on the world. It's a human experience, but mine's no more relative than what you say the Bible describes. So I don't know what you're trying to say to me.
So so you have all these experiences and all these absolutes, right? What would happen to you if you just if someone just dropped you into a completely different society and that's where you live now? And then you
I
had
would
to deal
have
with all that. Would you have to just adapt to it?
I would have to learn, but depending on where I
So you would have to
was,
learn
I
to be
might not
like
stick
them, right?
around. No, I might not stick around.
Maybe you
I might be like,
maybe you
nope, don't
can't
like it.
leave.
Yes, I can.
Would you yeah, maybe you can't leave and you have to stay there. Would you have a
Why would I have
system?
to stay there?
Would you have a system? Would you have a way of thinking and doing things that would allow you to
Wait,
still remain who you are in this new environment?
of course. You can maintain who you are and
Mhm,
function in a culture that's not yours. Of course.
mhm.
Again, my DNA proves it. Lots of cross culture, intermarriage craziness going on there.
But you just described earlier about how your was it your father and mother that you were describing earlier?
Who? Wait, no, I never
When you were
described my
talking
mom and dad.
about her being more less black and white and he was more black and white about things?
That was my grandmother and her husband.
And her husband, so not your
Mhm.
grandfather?
Like I said, my dad called his stepdad his dad, remember?
Oh, so it
Dad
sounds
called
like
his
there's like a lot
stepdad.
of confusion in the family then.
No, not at all.
Dad called my stepdad his father.
Yeah, I met my dad's real dad twice in my entire life. I knew my dad's stepdad. My dad's
So
stepdad
like
raised him. My dad's stepdad adopted him.
a stepdad is like when can you explain it again for people who come from more stable families? What is a stepdad?
Oh my god. Dan.
You're a mess, Dan.
That's so funny.
Oh, like the
A
stepfather movie.
stepdad is a guy that
So
comes around and makes
My
more kids
parents
with
were
your
married
mom.
till
the
the day my dad
milkman.
died. Thank you.
He delivers the milk.
My parents happened to be married till the day my dad died.
Yeah.
And my mom parents were married until her dad died.
So I guess the idea, Jess, I'm not sure where you're going with all that, but like
well, where I'm going is I'm
yeah,
just
let me let you
kind of
finish.
wondering how having a subjective way of doing things that changes based just on what situations and things you encounter, how that's not moral relativism.
It's no more relative than what you guys describe in the Bible. I didn't say it wasn't relative. I am a human having a human perspective, viewing the world through a very subjective experience. Of course. Of course.
So what is
Right?
truth then? Like
So
what is a real truth?
What is truth? Yeah, what is
Yeah, what
truth?
is truth?
do you
If
think
we're
you
if we're
have
just
it?
yeah, if we're human beings just having a human experience, what is real truth? What is objective reality?
I think it's something that exists, but I don't think it's something that anybody knows completely. Anybody.
So it's a nebulous concept then.
I think
Like
that
San
I think
Diego.
okay, objective means outside of the mind, right? And so I can know
Objective
that I
means
can
that it's not subjective.
yeah, it's not from
It's
the
not
mind.
subject to it's not
Yeah,
subject to your feelings
right.
or opinions. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I can know that something outside of that exists, right? I can know that it exists, but I can only experience it through my subjective experiences. And so even if I could like paint 90% of the picture, there would still be something I'm missing because I only have my subjective experience. Right. I can't like I don't it's the same when I say like I don't it's not that I don't believe God is impossible. I in no way believe that God is an impossible thing. There could very well be a God, right?
Mhm.
I don't I think the most disheartening thought I can think of is that any of us ever got it 100% right.
Why
I
would
just
that be
I
disheartening?
think because he's supposed to be something bigger than human, and everything I've seen has made him so utterly human. But anyway, moving on.
He became man for us. So when we ask the question, what is truth? We have an answer for that from the Bible. The truth is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the truth. He's God. The truth is a person. It's a personal relationship with God, a loving relationship that you maintain.
I know that that's what you assert the truth is, and I think that that is a
That's like your
worthy
opinion,
truth to
man.
have, but that's not my truth. It's an
Um,
experience I
It's
your
sought
the truth.
truth.
and never
It's
had.
the truth with a
Can
capital
can
T.
you possess
So
the
you
truth?
say, but I don't know that you can know that. I
But
really don't.
but
I think you
you
can I could think you
okay,
could be
hold
greatly
on.
convicted in that, and that's
Dixie,
fantastic.
you just
But I don't
said
think that's what
your
you know.
truth. You said your truth, but you also say you're a human being having a human experience that is
Yes, I
subjective.
said because I said I can understand that there is a truth, but all I have access to is through my subjective experience.
Huh.
Right? That's
But
that's all I have access to. So it's just like he said he knows the truth. I believe he is absolutely convicted in that. And I think
Mhm.
that's fantastic. And I really do. I'm not being flippant at all when I say I think that is fantastic. I think that is fantastic, right? But at the same time, that assuredness, that simple belief is something I tried really, really hard to have, and I never managed to have.
can
So
you
what he's
explain
saying,
your
so
truth though? What
what
does that
he's
mean?
saying, what I meant was when he said that relationship having, or that is the truth. What I meant by that's not my truth is not that like I have like a separate truth. What I meant
Mm.
is like I don't.
Well, you don't have a truth, do you?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't experience that, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't experience what you say you experience. And even when I try to, I don't, right? Like,
Okay.
and so even when I fight to and beg to and plead to, I don't experience it. I
But
don't.
earlier you
And
did say it's
so
the most that you said it was like the most sad thing that people are so sure about the truth.
no, I didn't
So
say it
like
was
I
a
don't
sad
think
thing
you
that
really
people are sure
honestly
about the
could be
truth.
thinking this way.
I don't
Right?
think
Because like
that's
you're
sad.
saying
I
two
don't
things. You're like,
know.
on one hand, this is so good that Dan's like this, but you just a few moments ago said anybody who says what Dan says is like a dummy. Like
I
this
didn't
is
say
so
you were a
sad
dummy.
that people.
I said to
Okay.
me
Yeah.
that not even like your interpretation or your idea of God. Let me put it that way. Like just like from my reading of the text, because I can talk to people like Batman and I can say I don't like this, and he can explain it to me in a way that I'm like, oh, well, if I look at it that way, you know. So I guess I can't say any denomination ever. Or that I have a comprehensive view. I
Yeah.
can just say that is as far as I know, and as far as what I've read and what I have taken from that, it would be sad to me to think that God is so big and so above human and yet as petty as one. Now that may not be your interpretation of God, and that's even more fantastic if that is not your interpretation of God
Yeah,
and
that's
you
a
are convicted, right?
Western
That's a
idea of
very
like a
Western
judicial. Yeah,
individualistic.
angry God is not Orthodox God. God is love.
Yeah.
God heals us. That's it's not about debts that we
So,
accrue, and He's not
so
punishing Himself to not punish us. Like no, He's healing us.
so so you basically earlier you were saying it's like there's just like different perspectives, right? And people just see things differently.
No, I think we can get incredibly close to the truth. I think we can get so close to the truth as humans
The truth.
that yeah, like
The
the
truth.
truth. The truth.
Uh-huh.
I think we can get so close to the truth. And and just still be missing something, right? And I think
We
I
can't
don't
know 100% of God. We can't
right, thank
understand His
you. I think
essence.
but I think
So
that's a
even
beautiful
me
thing.
and
I think
Dan
that's
will tell you that we
but
can't
Yeah.
see the entirety of God. We would die.
We have
right, but
the energy
I think
essence
it's
is
that
thinking for
way.
that reason.
But I
Well,
think
part
it's
of that
that
reason.
way for I think it's that way for everything in all our explorations, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think I happen to think it's a particularly beautiful thing. Can you imagine running out of things to explore? That would be awful.
Right.
But
Yeah, we
so
believe
I'm
that the
not
afterlife continues on with getting to know God more and more and loving Him more and
so
more.
I'm not saying that is any negative thing, right? I'm just saying the idea that we have it all figured out is a sad thought to me. I'm not saying that that makes your conviction sad. I just don't think anybody has it all figured out, and I think that's okay.
But what if someone did have it figured out? Wouldn't that be better?
Why?
Because then you'd have the truth, and then you could start living in the truth, and you wouldn't have to be so sad all the time
I'm not sad.
or confused.
Confused.
About what?
What reality is and like what the truth is,
I don't
and
know.
what,
Is
like
as far
just perspective, being in a perspective kind of mindset about, oh well, if I just look at it differently, it'll feel better.
No, I don't know. I happen to be pretty fine with everything. My super munchkin is my favorite person in the entire world. She is absolutely thriving and killing it in college and doing her thing. She recently got engaged. My mom's struggling with some cancer stuff, and that sucks, but she seems to be doing pretty good, and she's in really high spirits. She is a tough lady, and I love her lots. I don't know. Life is good. Life is up and life is down, but life is life, and I think it's a pretty cool thing.
Do you
I'm
think
not
life is just random?
unhappy.
What do you think happens to people after they die?
I don't know. I couldn't possibly know. I think
Would it be better if you
Nate,
did know?
I can't know.
Well, Dan knows.
I mean, I'll know when I die. Either something will happen when I die, or I will cease to exist like I was before I was
Dan has
born.
died.
Like either it'll happen or not. I don't know. Like before then I can't know. I can believe and I can be like really convicted and really assured, but I can't know until I die.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, what do you think about the
What
world?
would
Do
you
you feel happy with it?
Um in what way? I mean, it's not if somebody said create a world, would all of the things that exist in this world exist in the world I created? No, hell no. But, there's nothing I can do about that. Like this is the world that I live in, and I have to make these choices, right? And these choices affect me, and these choices affect people around me. And some of these choices may even affect strangers I'll never know, right? And so sometimes I suck, and sometimes I'm terrible. And all I can do is try to be a better version of me each day and enjoy the ability to experience things at all.
I see Jamie in the chat here saying people
Don't amplify his nonsense.
I just wanted to make the point that
Don't
Jamie,
amplify his
you don't get
nonsense.
to say when Christ decides to resurrect people and how he does it. Sometimes people are a little misunderstanding about when resurrection happens. Think about Mary and Martha, the sisters of Lazarus, and Jesus told them, he's like, Lazarus will be risen again, and they're like, we know that he'll be risen in the great day of resurrection. He said, I am the resurrection. he made sure that people knew for sure what was going on here with our Christian faith. We have a certain hope that nothing can deprive us from the love of God, not even death, because he destroyed death by death. So
Also, that's a
you
stretch,
can say that
Zedin.
everyone's
He didn't
waiting all
ask.
you want, but you don't get to decide, Jamie. Thank
Also,
God.
that's a stretch. That's a stretch, Zedin. He didn't ask me, would it be better if I knew the truth? He asked me if it would be better if I knew what happened after I died. And I said, I can't know until after I died.
Can you infer it based on the truth of what you do know from your experience?
What experience? I haven't experienced death.
So, like, I guess maybe trying to grant the premise, like, if there is a truth out there, let's say, just grant the premise, Jess and I are right about Jesus Christ, and all the Christians are right about these things that they say that, happened. Wouldn't it be better if you knew about that
Oh yeah,
before you
I can
die?
agree to that.
Yeah,
Well,
would you want to prepare?
No, actually, that I have to back up. I have to back up, and I have to say that depends on which interpretation you believe in. If I believed in your interpretation,
Perspective, interpretation.
then yes. But if I believed in the interpretation that says, like, the more you know, the more accountable you are, then no, you're probably condemning people who can't bring themselves to believe you because they've been brainwashed by other things. So again, from which denomination am I speaking from? From yours? Sure, I guess. Yeah.
So would you say that all people that come into something that exists already and become a part of it, that happens by brainwashing?
No, I was saying that from the perspective that Christianity is true. And if Christianity is the truth, and the more somebody knows about Christianity, the more accountable to that system they are, then preaching that at somebody who you would
The
think
devil knows
is
all about
brainwashed because
Christianity,
they're
but he
in a
didn't
different
sign the
religion, right?
Yeah, but it's a matter of signing the covenant and buying in. It's a matter of committing yourself to it. It's a matter of becoming it. There's a difference between knowing about something and being that thing.
But yes, from your perspective, yes, there are many denominations and many Christian perspectives out there. So when he said that, I said yes, and then I said, wait, let me back up. From your perspective, yes. From a perspective like this, maybe not so much.
He'll be right back.
Yeah. So it's all just perspective. It's all, again, subjective.
He was asking me, would it be better? Under whose view? Under his view? Under his worldview? If his worldview was correct, would it be better to know? Yes, that is what I said. That is what he asked me. And then I said, but if it was like the same God from this other perspective, which another denomination has, then I couldn't say the same thing.
So what's the difference? The thing I was coming to is, what's the difference between knowing all about something and being that? Like embracing it, taking it on, it becoming who you are.
Because there's a big difference.
Okay.
There's a huge difference. For example,
Lay it out for me.
I can learn all about the Bible. It doesn't make me a believer. You can read all about evolution. It doesn't mean you believe in it. I can read Peter Pan 1,000 times. It doesn't mean I believe in Tinkerbell, right? There's a difference between knowing about something and becoming like so that thing becoming a part of you. Like those are two different things.
Yeah. So, are you anything?
What do you mean, am I anything?
Like, are you anything that has pre-existed you? Can you become that?
I think, like everyone who has ever existed, we are amalgamation of influences upon us.
So it's a relativism answer. So you don't believe? Yes, it is, because we're all special. We're all
you don't
snowflakes.
Think that's not what I'm saying.
I'm not saying we're snowflakes.
I'm not saying we're snowflakes, right? That's not what I said. But it's also not a strictly biological, shared, inherited thing. Otherwise, me and my siblings would have the same personality. We'd have the same interests and the same likes and dislikes. We'd have the same worldviews, and we don't. Two of us are believers, and two of us are not, right? Why so different if your individual experiences didn't have some sway on it?
Yeah. I mean, you can have people grow up in the same circumstances and be different. That doesn't justify moral relativism.
I didn't say it did. You guys are taking one statement on balance and taking it further than the people who wrote the story took it. So
Explain that. How so?
this came from a culture who really put a lot of value on the idea of balance. Now, it's not that they didn't have a concept of good or evil, right?
Mhm.
It's that they understood that most things are neither absolutely good nor absolutely evil.
You're just to clarify, you're going back to the two wolves example.
Right. Because that's where this started, where you guys brought it in and said that that's what I was saying.
Okay.
So
So if there's you're talking about balance. So balance
Right.
would mean that there is an equal value on each side.
No, it doesn't have to be equal.
Well, then it's not balanced.
That's not true.
You can't be balanced unless you have an equal outcome. So
Why?
if these things even each other out, they become balanced, right? So if you hold a pencil in the very middle and it just sits on your finger and doesn't fall off to one side or the other, it's balanced, right?
But you're saying equal in what way? Like I could put, let's say I could put flour on one side
Mm-hmm.
and I could put marbles on the other.
Yes, but it would have to be the same weight and capacity, and there would have to be no momentum involved for them to balance.
Depending on, yeah, if it was a perfect scale.
You could have
But
a
if I don't
stone on one
but if
side
I
and
don't
feathers on
let's
the
say
other.
if I have a perfectly balanced scale, but let's say I don't have a perfectly balanced scale. Let's say that thing's, like, hanging off a ledge and it's got something hanging underneath it. Well, now I need a heavier weight on the other end, right? Like, much heavier. So,
Okay.
I don't
So if
I
you
don't
if you
understand.
strive for balance in a relative amount of something where you don't see an good and evil, you would say, okay, well, if I do good things, I have to do the right amount of bad things to even them out, right?
No, it's not like that. Not like that at all. That's what I'm saying. You guys look at it through that perspective, but that's not what the story is saying.
Okay.
Okay. So
The story is saying these
you
are
have to bring it
different
back. You're
energies.
no,
You're saying
because you
these
guys
are different relative energies that enhance one another. It's like a yin yang kind of situation. And
yes.
that's what you're but that's kind of like just a whole pagan concept.
No, not yin yang. It's not so much. It is kind of, but not so much. But how do I explain it? It's like it's more about like telling you uh the story is more saying like you shouldn't strive to be like an absolute one thing kind of. Like how do I explain this? It's like it's about what you do. It's about your action in the in the moment, right? It's not about the principle, it's not about the truth of a matter changing, right? It's it's
Does
about
intention matter in this example?
absolutely it matters. That's why
Okay.
he says if you ignore the black wolf, right? If you ignore him, it's not saying go out and use him. It's saying
Mhm,
to pay attention to it in your mind, to understand that it's there and to know it, to not ignore it, right?
mhm.
Because if you ignore it, then it will lash out when you least expect it to. But if you can take care of them both, if you can be mindful of
Take
both
care of them
within
how,
in
though?
you. Hmm?
Take care of them how? Because it sounds like you're talking about, um, virtue versus, the opposite of virtue. Like,
No, see, that's what I'm saying. It's not they
so
have
is there
they
is
have the
there
idea of positive and negative, but it's not about virtue and non-virtue,
Mhm,
right? It's like, okay, traits that, are considered good, right? Like or
mhm.
not considered good, considered positive, right? These traits that are considered positive and necessary, the nurturing.
Who
the-
considers whether they're positive or not? Is this a sociological factor?
whether it
Is this
whether it no yeah, like whether it's like oh, how to explain it? It's kind of like to you and your community, right? You don't want to bring harm to you and your community or to other people if you can help it,
Mhm.
right? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's the positive side of things, right? And then you have the negative side of things. Now, you don't want to be a negative person, obviously, but we all have that in us. We all have the capability to hurt people and to lash out. And um, while this can be useful, again, in times of great need, when you're protecting somebody you love, when you're from being harmed, when you're protecting a child from being harmed, things like that, these things are useful, even though they may not be a positive trait, right? But while you don't want to overindulge the black wolf, right? You don't want to ignore it. You don't want to ignore it and pretend it isn't there and then watch it lash out. You want to recognize it and take care of it so that it doesn't hurt the people around you. And also you also don't want to overindulge the white wolf so that you're just this people pleaser with no spine. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to find this balance.
But it's still moral relativism because it's equaling the two. It's saying they're neither good nor bad,
No,
right?
it's dealing with you as an individual saying you have good and bad. Deal with them both and don't
Mhm.
ignore it.
So you would be talking about maybe someone watching out for their sin, for the way they treat others, for things like this.
It's just you have good and bad in you.
Uh-huh.
Pretending otherwise will do you no good. You have to contend with both. And
Uh-huh.
the best you can do is find a way to get both of them to serve you and those you love without harming people.
How do you navigate that?
You don't know when you harm someone
No.
or when you might harm someone?
There's always going to be situations in which um you will have to choose one person over another, yeah?
Absolutely. Like I
So,
said,
like,
my
in your
kid is my
example, like,
kid.
you would harm someone that tried to harm your kid, right?
Absolutely. Do I
So
think it's good? Do I think that that's suddenly a positive? No.
Mhm.
Am I glad my black wolf is there for that? Hell yeah. Am I going to pretend otherwise? Nuh-uh.
Well, yeah, but, see, in that situation, you're talking about a justified righteousness in that action. Therefore, it's not really the black wolf, it then becomes the white wolf.
That's your perspective because you're linking it to moral character, you're linking it to
Okay.
morality. I am saying that it's dealing with you and your traits as a person and how you utilize them. And it comes from a culture that very much values balance.
Mhm.
You're trying to apply this as some like
Well, I
worldview. I'm saying it's supposed to apply to you as an individual and recognizing that we
there's
all,
the
as
problem.
humans, have the black wolf and the white wolf inside of us. We all have it, and we can't pretend we don't. We can't say we're all one, we're all the other. We can't ignore it. We
But
can't.
what
We all
if
have
we
it.
have a societal black wolf and white wolf? What if we're meant to navigate this together?
What do you mean?
What if individualism is the reason we cannot navigate these things as
But
well?
that
Because we're not
that has nothing to
as a
do with the
shared
story.
society, we're not as a shared people navigating these things.
It's not their only story, right?
I
And
know.
they have other things. It's not their only story. This story was just about that one thing, and I was just showing the difference in where the emphasis on the story was put from one culture to another.
Sure. But I was speaking more on, like, do you think Would you call yourself an individualist? Would you say you're hyper individual?
No, I think you
So do you feel you belong
have to
to a
have a bit of
people?
both. Do
Well, yeah,
I
of
feel like
course.
I belong to a people? In what way?
A people, your family, your lineage, or is it
Yeah.
just you? Are you just floating around?
No, I think there are. Yeah, I think if you asked me to describe my closest idea of home, it would be people. So yeah.
Your people.
Well, I say my family a lot, don't I? My family, my friends. I say that a lot.
If you visualized all these people that are important to you, that are like your tribe, right?
Mhm.
Would you see yourself on a big boat together going in a direction, or are you all just sitting off somewhere in your own little huts?
What do you mean? A bit of both, I suppose.
Yeah.
If you I think it's more like we're together, but everybody's allowed to go off and have their own adventures and return and go off and return, and I think that's great for everyone.
What's the most important part of it, though? Is it that you're all going there together, or that you're enjoying your own thing?
What do you mean?
Because we need each other to progress in any
I
meaningful
think
direction.
Well, hey, also, Bond says
it's
he's going to
both.
leave soon. So if he wants to talk about his trip with the Orthodoxy, I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, I don't know. I hate
Yeah,
to
but
weasel my way
okay,
in,
yeah,
but
just that's fine. Go ahead, Bob.
if he's going to leave soon, I know how Bond is. Bond will be like, I tried to talk to these people, but no one would let me talk.
Oh,
Bond,
are you there?
you there,
Are you there?
bud?
Yeah.
Or did you walk away because you're like, I'm not going to be able to talk? Or you mute?
Bond, you can talk if you want.
Bond, come on, little
Gatorade.
guy.
Mom said H2O. Gatorade.
Sorry about that, Bond. You can talk, buddies.
I missed that movie.
Water boy.
Yeah.
Foosball. Your best lucky lover says Dan unblocked me. My apologies for whatever I did. Crying face? I don't even know who that is.
I don't even know who you are.
I feel like Thanos right now. What did I do?
You ruined my life. I don't even know who you are.
Are you there, Bond?
Go ahead, Bond. You there, buddy?
Iron Man, are you there? Sorry about
Yeah.
earlier, Iron Man. I didn't mean to make you mad or anything.
Now I feel like a jerk because I'm like, well, Jess,
I am here.
Jess and Pixie are talking this whole time. I just wanted to see what these other guys were.
Bond.
Bond, are you there, Bond?
Well, at least you're here, Mr. Iron Man.
Well,
Yes.
Dan, if you would love to just go into how individualism just ruins everything, that would be the time.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
hold on. I think you have to have both because while I greatly enjoy spending a lot of time with my loved ones,
Yeah.
what on earth would there be to talk about if we didn't have individual experience to come back and share?
She got you there.
So you got individual cells in the body, right? They're not always right next to each other, but they're still in the body together doing things.
Wow.
Right?
Well, that's what I said, that we're together, but everybody can go off and have their own adventures and come back and go off and come back. And then you said, what part is more important? And I said, I don't know. I greatly enjoy being with them. But what would we talk about other than the same things over and over and over again if we did not have separate experiences?
What's the point of all the movements if the cells and the organs and stuff are not cohesive in one body? That's kind of my take. Dan,
I don't know.
like hearing it, but not sure. Come on, Dan. I know you've read like 5 books about this.
What about individual? So individualism itself. So number one, like people who embrace love, it doesn't mean that they don't have a moment to themselves.
Sure.
You know, like you have a loving relationship with God where you can be alone in that, and It's not like you don't have healthy boundaries. How do you have a relationship with other people without healthy boundaries? So I don't want anyone to think that individualism just means to have like time to yourself. Individualism means all you care about is yourself. You're egocentric. To you, what matters is the will of your heart. It's like, what do I want to do with my life? It's my body, my choice, that kind of stuff.
Well, and also you place a higher value on your own perspective than a shared cultural perspective as well.
Yeah, and basically moral relativism is individualism. I mean, it's that everybody's an island to
The
themselves.
story was not about moral relativism
That's
for the
adorable.
last time. The story was not about moral relativism. You keep putting that on it.
I don't know. What story are you talking about? The story
The
of the
wolf
world?
story.
Oh, the two wolves. That's in every man. There's two wolves. They're both gay. That's the real story. You guys
They're both looping.
Yeah. Everyone has two drunk wolves in themselves. Like I think that meme is hilarious. I don't know. Is that really a Native American thing, or is that like I didn't even know that was tongue in cheek?
No, the story is really a Native American story. The
From
one
what tribe?
that in Cherokee.
It's okay. It's an old Cherokee. Well, okay, good. I'm glad there's some traditions that you appreciate. So maybe you can see why Orthodoxy loves them so much.
Wow.
Like, it's what keeps us connected with people throughout
I happen
vast
to
distances.
celebrate many traditions. I will have you know that for everybody's one holiday, my super munchkin got at least two. She celebrated solstice and Christmas. She celebrated ripe corn.
That's not a
and
tradition.
Halloween. Yes, it is. She celebrated all kinds of well, our holidays are more tradition than I guess the native holidays were more tradition than the other holidays. But
So if your tradition is like 5 seconds ago, you're deciding to have a neo renaissance of every single tradition out there.
My
Then that's your new tradition. I mean, you're doing multiple traditions at once. That means you're not actually
No, that is not true. Growing up, like I said, I grew up with more than one culture in my family. In my family, not friends, not community, in my family. My family was not culturally cohesive. I did not want to limit or cross out any part of my family just because one side didn't agree with the other. So I passed down both traditions, and whichever one she identified with did not have to be the one that I identified with more.
Have you ever had to teach somebody something? Like instruct somebody? Like teach them, like the kid, anything? I'm not saying have you ever been an instructor, but like have you ever had to teach a concept?
What does that have to do with anything?
Because you can confuse somebody by giving them a bunch of different options at once.
Yep.
There's a psychological thing called
that's like
the
a
ice
game.
cream shop.
Oh
A game
my
has
God.
rules, and
You know
that's how
what?
you
My
play it.
kid-
There's
my
1,000 flavors, and you got to choose which one. Like it's
Daniel,
too
I
confusing.
hear you, but I'm telling you, my kid is a 20-year-old, or almost 20. She's almost 20.
Was she always?
She
20?
is going into her second year of college with 94 credit hours. She's already a senior.
But did
she's
she
going
start out
to-
as a kid, or did she start
No,
out at 20 years old?
Listen, I'm just saying,
Okay.
she is such a good kid with such a good head on her shoulders. So she made me look like I knew what I was doing. So I promise you that by telling her you have these traditions in your family lineage, and you also have these traditions in your family lineage, and we are going to celebrate both traditions until you can decide which one you want to celebrate, did not confuse her. Please don't pretend that I did.
Well, I don't know your daughter. You would know, and she would know best if she got confused by that experience. I don't know what kind of life she's living now. What's she like now?
She is fantastic. She is a go-getter. She is very responsible. She has her head on her shoulders. She's never been the kid that snuck out or went and partied. We are very close. She still invites me to hang out with her and her friends. She still sends me random texts. It's like, look at this.
So she
still
likes
has-
you, but what's her relationship with God?
I let her decide that growing up.
Okay, but see, these children aren't ours. They're God's children, and if we deprive them of their core relationship with God, we are
I
poisoning
didn't
them.
deprive her of anything. Once again,
Or if we
both sides of her
confuse.
family, my mom is a preacher's kid. And her other side of the family goes to church as well. She grew up going to church. I did not keep her from it. I did not restrict her from it.
Better a millstone.
My
Because
parent
you're
growing
the
up in
parent.
church,
It's not
growing up in church did
No.
not make me a believer, even when I wanted to be.
Yeah.
If she was a believer, I would encourage it all the way. If she's not, I can't make her one. I don't know what you're saying to me.
So you, as a parent, you form your child, and so like you don't ask your kid what do they think of these things.
I
They don't know
didn't
yet.
restrict her from it. I said I
You're
took
supposed to
her.
teach
How
them.
would she have the concept of going if she didn't go? She went. We talked earlier that she asked me to be baptized when she was younger. How would she know to ask me that if I didn't let her go? I did not restrict her, Daniel. You have lots of preconceptions of me, and that's fine. But I didn't restrict my child or keep her away from that stuff.
Well, it sounds like you had more than one thing though. Because that's like what you've been arguing this whole time, is that it's okay to have multiple cultures at one time and it won't be confusing
Because
to
I
a kid.
taught her some holiday traditions, I was somehow giving her confusing God scripts. You don't make any sense.
Well, what are the other cultures? Are they like pagan, or that you said something about a solstice? That
We
sounds
didn't
pagan.
go.
Were you
What?
giving your child
You
options
you
that
know,
were
you know,
wait, were you
listening
giving
to
your
my
child options that were in opposition to each other?
No,
Because
what
that's
I did,
confusing.
And not telling them that they're in
no,
opposition.
I will tell you exactly what we did on solstice and Christmas. Here, I'll tell you exactly what we did. On solstice, we made little lanterns and we made bread cookies and we strung up popcorn and berries and we decorated the trees outside, not inside. And that the berries and the bread cookies and all of that was for the animals, the squirrels, the birds, whatever, right? And instead of getting each other gifts, we made each other gifts, because making something for somebody you care about is a lot of effort and it's harder than buying something.
Okay.
And when we celebrated this, I said that when it is celebrated, people are celebrating quality time together, how much they treasure the people that have influenced them, and giving back to what has given to them. Be it to nature, for yes, even for God, they did have their own concept of God, but I didn't say it that way, right? But giving, well, I did, but I didn't distinguish between their God and the other God. I just said God either way.
That can be
But
confusing.
anyway, that they were thanking God for what the earth had provided them, and they were giving back and things like that, and that is the celebration. And when we celebrated Christmas, she asked me, what are we celebrating? And I would tell her what the celebration of Christmas represented. I don't think I in any way confused her or said there's this God and that God and all of these things. I don't think I did that.
Can you tell us, since you've told us so much already, like what did you tell her about Christmas?
I told her that Christmas was celebrated as, okay, and this may not be your perspective. Don't come at me. This is perspective.
True, I asked, so I'll stay quiet.
Okay, I told her that Christmas was celebrating the birth of Christ, and that as far as I knew, people brought gifts to each other because the wise men honored Jesus with gifts. And it was a way to honor the people who were there for you or who had guided you spiritually and things like that. And that it was a time when families came together and they celebrated together and they gave thanks together, kind of like Thanksgiving, but specially revolving around Jesus's birth.
Okay, so at no point did you mention that God became man?
Well, I mean, that was
already
she already knew that. You're forgetting. My mom is a preacher's kid. Right? My mom's clearly a believer. I did not keep her from going to church. She knew that concept.
Yeah. So is there?
She went to Bible clubs with her friends after school. I did not.
So your daughter's a
these
Christian?
concepts. She's not.
It sounds
like she wanted to be, because
I
she
would
went
say
to Bible
she's
studies.
agnostic.
Yeah.
I
mean,
never told her she couldn't. I took her when she asked me to go with her. I went with her.
But you weren't about it though, and she was looking at you the whole time because you're her mom. So she's like, well, if mom's not being moved, like, why should I?
That is not true at all. She has
So
never
she
had a
tried. She tried
problem
to find a connection to God, but I feel like
you're being ridiculous right now, and you're trying to pin it on me in a way that is absolutely unjustifiable. I grew up with people who absolutely believed. The people I admired most in the world absolutely believed. There is nothing I wanted more than to believe, and I never managed it. 41 years old, and I never managed it. My child was taught to think for herself, and she does that.
yeah, that's the
She
problem. You
no
shouldn't teach your
Yeah.
child
no
to
no.
teach think for
She
themselves.
I
chose-
definitely don't
she
tell my
chose-
kids that stuff.
She chose to go to church, and she chose to stop going to church. I cannot make her a believer any more than my parents could make me a believer.
It would help if she had a good example.
Wow.
That's taking it a little far.
Excuse me?
A good example, as in going to church, as in believing in
Yeah.
God.
My mother did that. Are you saying my mother's not a good example? Because she went to church
She was a good
and she
example
believed in
to
God.
you.
Yeah.
She was a good example to you, clearly, but you didn't do that for your daughter.
My daughter turned out
You didn't
fantastic.
continue that. Well, I'm sure she's a great kid. I'm sure she's a kind-hearted, good person. And she's also your kid, so
And you didn't. Yes, I did take her when she was little. Yes, I did. You
But-
don't know much about me.
But you were probably pretty open with her that you didn't believe, right? Or
No.
did you tell her that you did believe when you didn't?
Actually, we didn't have these conversations until later. When she was younger, what would happen is when she would ask me, I would say, well, what do you think, sweetheart? And she would say, well, I think God
she wants
this,
to
and I
hear what
think-
you think.
and I think
though.
God that. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Your
you
mom.
know, and I would tell her, and we would have conversations about what she thought, and we would explore her thoughts on God. And I would tell her, you know, I think this, or have you thought about it this way, or have you thought about it that way? But I never once said, yeah, there's no God, not until
So there was no
not until she
structure
asked
around
me.
that conversation for her to
Not
adhere
until
to.
she was questioning, and she asked me, and she came to me. No, it wasn't until after her decision was made that I was just kind of like,
Is what David's saying true? You wouldn't let her get baptized?
when she was 6, no, because she couldn't tell me why.
Oh my goodness, Pixie. That really undoes everything you just said.
No, it doesn't. I told her that she could have a dedication.
So you
no,
basically already said no to
this was
it.
this was the conversation I had with her. She
You
said,
already
Mom,
refused God to her. You already
let
denied
me,
her
no,
God.
you don't know the conversation we had. She said, Mom, can I get baptized? And I said, why? And she said, because so-and-so and so-and-so are getting baptized. And I said, do you know what it means? And she said, it means, what did she say? She said, it means that that God, or that I believe in God. And I was like, sweetheart, that's not quite what it means. And I said, are you sure about this? And she was like, Mom, I really want to. My friend is, and my friend is. And I said, that's not what it means. And
What
I
do you
said,
think it means?
and then I said, if you would like to have a blessing or a dedication ceremony, I will 100% support that.
What do you
And
think
when you
baptism means?
And then I told her,
You stood in the doorway.
I told her to think about why she wanted to get baptized and to come back to me. And if she had a reason, we would go forward with it. But I don't think because my friends are getting baptized and God exists is the.
You're inferring a
doesn't-
motive to her.
Y-
Maybe God
y-
was really calling her and you stood in her way.
And
Then why
you
did you
and
say
she
because my
told you
friends
that
are
it
getting
means that she
baptized?
believes in God. She said she wants to
She
do it
didn't
because it
say
means I
that.
believe in God. And you said that's not what that means.
She
So
said
what does
that
it mean to be
maybe, I'm sorry,
baptized?
she said maybe God exists. Sorry. She wanted to get baptized because her friends were getting baptized. Do you want me to bring her in here and tell you? She'll tell you that now. If you
So
ask her,
what
why did you
kid-
want to get
what kid
baptized, she
was
will say,
really
because my friends
honest?
were
Did
getting
they all
baptized.
just get
Yeah,
baptized?
yeah, I would love to
Friends
talk
were-
to her actually. Yeah, please do. Bring her on.
Sure.
Everybody,
This is kind of cool.
Kiwi's link this in the comments. I'll put it on. I would like to play, but I don't think I would allow it because it would. What's it called? Like you can't play
Here you go. Okay.
copyrighted stuff. But I'll put in the link
No, you don't have to
in the
comment
private
on
chat if you guys want to watch it.
Well, I mean, I'm part of it.
It's
No,
from
they're
that
saying I'm
It's
making
about-
up motives for her.
This is crazy. You want me to talk? Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay. Well,
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So, I love my mom very much.
Thank you. I love
yeah.
you too.
But what happened was very much I did not fully believe in God at the ripe age of 8. I still
I
don't.
thought you were like 6.
I don't know. I was 6 to 8. I was pretty young. All my friends were getting baptized and begging me to get baptized, and that's why I wanted to. And I told her it's because my friends were doing it, and she was like, "Wait till you're older," and I was like, "Okay," because I didn't really believe in it. So.
And I also
She
told her
got
that
right.
she could have a dedication ceremony
Yes.
or anything like that, but that her friends doing it wasn't a good enough reason.
Which I think is really fair. I love you. I'm figuring
Love
out my
you,
phone.
sweetheart. So there you go. You happy that you heard from Super Munchkin?
Yeah, she sounds like a nice little girl.
And I don't regret that, because I don't think your friends getting baptized and trying to coerce you into getting baptized is a reason to get baptized.
Well, I don't know if it would have took anyway. God has a way of figuring everything out. So, I trust the Lord. That she'll see God when it's time to, and hopefully you do, and you will too, Pixie, because if you really want to see God, He will show Himself to you. I know earlier you said you're not really sure if you want to know the truth, though.
No, it's not that I don't want to know the truth. It's that I don't know that I'm capable of knowing the truth. I think I'm capable of knowing parts of the truth. Like, okay, for example, if I knew that God existed and God was the truth, I still wouldn't know the truth. I would just know a piece of the truth.
So
God would know the truth, right? But I
So-
still wouldn't.
So again, truth is Jesus Christ. He's a person. So it's knowing Jesus is knowing the truth. It doesn't mean that you know everything that Jesus knows. It's just like
Yeah,
me
but
knowing you. It's
Okay,
like
I'll put
if
it this
I say
way.
I know Pixie,
Okay, that's a great example. You know me, but you don't know
but
my
I don't know
thoughts.
everything about you. I couldn't.
Exactly. So I can know something is a truth
But you can
without
make
knowing the
inferences.
truth, can I not?
But you can make inferences based on like pattern recognition, based on other experiences. So
Sure,
if
you
you see
can also be
somebody,
really wrong.
because there's like fixed things in the world, and you might take those things on and then show those patterns, and then people can recognize those patterns that you're taking part in.
Sure, but you could also be wrong, and you can also make assumptions based on your experiences that don't actually apply to the other person, right? It's because
Someone who
so that's what I'm
practices
saying.
pattern
Like I
recognition is
can
going to be
I
right
can
most of the time.
recognize a truth and not fully know it because all I have is a subjective experience. That's all I said earlier.
So I think what's important about like Christianity is that when our beliefs that we believe in, from our perspective, is that God revealed Himself to us. So He's giving us these truths about Himself, and we trust Him.
And how long did that take for him to reveal himself to you? Never mind.
And that's wonderful. I'm not detracting from that when I say we can't know everything, like the full truth. What I mean by that is you can know that truth and not know the truth of how it's unfolding, not know what exactly the thought process in his head was when he did that, not know exactly the exact outcome of everything, right? Like
Sure.
just because you know a
We would
truth doesn't
agree.
mean you know like the truth of everything. So when I say that a disheartening thought to me was that anybody got it right, I'm looking at it in like 100% right across the board. I'm looking at it in that aspect.
Okay. So we don't think we know everything just because we know God.
Does that make sense? So I think we were kind of talking past
Only
each
I
other
know is how evil I am.
because we weren't using the words the
Yeah.
same, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe it's like, do I have every single answer? Is like kind of like the way you thought of like, do you know if God exists or not? What are you doing over there, Iron Man? You building
Playing a
something?
game, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought he was like eating Tic Tacs.
No.
I thought he was making Legos. That was my thought. I was just seeing him just aggressively stacking Legos together.
No, just playing the Mega Man X collection.
Oh, nice. Hope you're doing good.
Iron Man, sorry about earlier. I hope I did it.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Daniel, yeah, here's this link as Achilles linked. It's from a news thing. Would that be alright if I play that without it? What's it called? Copyright?
No, don't play it. Kidding. I don't know.
Oh.
Wait. What are you gonna play?
Here's this link Achilles like me wanted to show Pixie about
Is it full?
the news thing about a guy that said a cross saved his life. It was a miracle, I guess.
Well, hopefully it doesn't have copyright music in it.
It's a news thing.
Yeah,
Just
well, I'm sure it's going to
the
convince Pixie.
YMCA by Village People on repeat.
I'm sure this video from Achilles is going to convince Iron Man and Pixie right on the spot. They're like, once I seen this video, it really changed everything.
Oh no, that's acting like Jamie. Like, watch this video and you'll agree with me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make
yeah.
you an hour-long video and you're gonna watch.
Watch this, and then you'll understand.
You won't totally feel like you wasted an hour of your life.
Oh, I really recommend that people check out that Ancient Faith radio broadcast from my parishioner. I brought it onto the stream before you popped out last night. I only showed it for a little bit, but there's a whole hour-long conversation. It's really good. She's a great author. She wrote a book, The Chicken with the Red Feather, available on Amazon, and really good story. And I recommend it to Jamie and Terry because she actually started out as a Seventh-day Adventist. And I think it's just interesting to see her perspective on how that affected family and like what are the similarities and the differences. Like that's why I was bringing up so much about culture and religion before. It's like there is actually something very beautiful about a Am I here? Is everyone frozen?
No, I'm listening.
Okay, yeah. Everything got really quiet, and I saw like things froze. Okay, sorry. But yeah, it is when you have a small group of people that like kind of all believe the same thing, and their lives are completely colored by their beliefs. You can see this with like Native Americans too. Really, it's not just a Christian thing, but it's something that's like we fail to see in America because we're so individualistic.
I don't know. Maybe I come from a tribe that was really big on intermarrying, like marrying with other tribes and creating alliances and things like that. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's not a good example then. I mean, I'm thinking maybe more the Alaskan Native Americans.
Hey everyone.
Hi,
Hello,
Achilles.
how are you guys?
Hello, Achilles.
All right, so the video I just came in to describe what it was. It just happened. It was on the news stream in Fox News, where somebody was showing off a gun to their friends, and it backfired, and it hit his best friend on the chest. But he was wearing a cross, and the bullet broke the cross that he was wearing and deflected and went into his chest, but sideways, and came out his armpit. And
Look, as long as he's okay. Is he okay?
yes, he's okay.
I don't
And-
believe
That
her.
is a
I couldn't
horrific
leave her if
story.
I tried. Unbeliever. There you go.
Yeah,
Alright,
somebody
so-
Zippo lighter saved them one time, but I don't bow to fire.
If you check it out, the link is in the chat, you will see that they have the cross. The father can't even speak because he's crying from joy and from faith. And the cross is completely broken, but the guy is alive, and he says, I didn't believe before this, now I do.
You know what? I'd be more impressed if the cross if the cross didn't break. That would definitely impress me.
Well, it
I don't
saved
know.
his
Like
life.
I said, I'm glad.
That doesn't care about metal, brother.
I'm glad he's okay, and maybe that's what it took for him to believe. Who am I to say? I don't care. I'm just glad he's okay. I will
So
say
let me tell you this,
a guy's Zippo lighter saved him from a bullet once, and I don't bow to fire because of it. So
All right. Let me give you a short story, dear Pixie. When I was in the U.S., I was not a believer. I was not reborn as I now am, but I always knew there was a God. I always believed there was a God. I wasn't trained into believing that. It made sense. So at some point, the girlfriend that I had in the U.S. Gave me a ticket for a concert, which was not a concert, I'm sorry, it was a private screening of a film by the band Green Day. I knew the band, I was okay with them, and that girl was in the very closed fan club of Green Day in Los Angeles. It was only 200 people in the club. And that was like this opportunity for me would never happen again. But she gave me the title of the documentary, and it was A Bullet in the Bible. So I got very pissed off, and I said, why does everybody need to be so Bible hating? Why make a documentary called A Bullet in the Bible? I'm not going. So she begged me to go, and I did. She was my girlfriend. And when I did, Green Day were releasing a documentary about how many Bibles we found on the battlefield of World War II that have saved the soldiers that were carrying them because they took the bullet. And it's like we have like 100 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say the bull in the Bible is actually a good thing. That's
Yes.
showing
Yeah,
the miracles.
that tends to happen when you carry things, kind of like that Zippo lighter.
Actually, that was the premise of my first novel, was a bullet saving the main character's life.
I didn't even know.
And ends up hidden in the Bible in his suit. That's like the moral of the story of my first novel.
I thought it was a documentary against the Bible, and it was how many relics we found. So you can Google it to see how many Bibles exist that have a bullet in them, and they save the soul.
So I don't think that's surprising. They gave all the soldiers Bibles. When you carry something like that around, it tends to block things, just like that guy Zippo lighter did. But again, I'm not worshiping
save your
fire.
life, though. Well, it's been proven that faith can save your life.
So when she told you about this movie, you assumed it was against Christianity, and when you said that, she didn't say anything back to you, like, actually, this is about Christianity.
She didn't even know. Yeah, she didn't know. It was a surprise for the fan club. The screening was a surprise. She didn't know either. But
you didn't know that Green Day were Christians?
I didn't know they were Christians, but I always liked their music. But I was at a time back then, which is like 20,
be an American idiot.
Yeah, it's no, they're a great band.
They're all right. They're okay. They're okay.
20 years ago, I wasn't picky with who is a believer, who is not, So I just didn't want them to attack the Bible.
That's crazy that you read it that way. Like when I heard "Bull in the Bible," my first thought was like how that saves people's lives, but you thought it was a negative thing.
Yeah, I was afraid because rock music, there's a lot against.
It's more like punk rock.
Believing, right? Well, it's more punk music, but this industry, it's 1 in 10 bands forward a Christian message. The other 9 out of 10, they're not.
I think people just assumed that because they weren't like a bubblegum pop or Mr. Sandman. I think they got a lot of like negative press from that. Even today, if you compare the actions of some of the rock bands compared to the actions of some of the more popular artists considered role models, there's a big difference, and it doesn't sway the way people think it does.
Well, Frank Sinatra, he sold his soul to the devil, number one, but he also was a pretty bad guy behind the scenes.
Well, I mean, there's
Beautiful
the difference
voice,
there's the difference between Metallica putting a pause on their travels to drop everything and go see their fan in a nursing home, and the pop band that canceled their Make-A-Wish visit when they found out they weren't getting paid, right? Like, people look at the rockers and they automatically assume bad, and they look at all these like pop figures and they automatically assume role model. But if you look at the actions, a lot of times it's flipped.
Yeah, I wasn't like that. And I grew up back then, 20 years and before 20 years from today. I liked Marilyn Manson until he came up on the scene and he was tearing up the Bible. He was tearing it up, like throwing away all the pages. So that's when I stopped liking Marilyn Manson. So people make choices when it comes to spiritualism, and others are like us over here. Others are inside the music industry, and to go further in the music industry, it looks like if you want to forward a Christian message, even if it's not like calling out the name Jesus immediately, you have to be secretive about it.
I don't know about that. Skillet's done pretty good for themselves, and they're very open about it. So is Flyleaf. So is Paramore.
things are a little changing now, but overall, in history of the music industry, there have been some very unexplainable deaths, some weird stuff happening. The Club 23.
Well, also
Mystery
Christian
Lands.
music had a way of demanding perfection from their artists as well. Like I think they created their own pigeonhole in a way. Look at the way, let's see, who was a real big star like in the Christian scene? Amy Grant. Look what they did to Amy Grant after her divorce, or when she got remarried, when she was going to get remarried after her divorce.
Oh, Achilles. I put that link in the private chat too. in case
Okay, yeah.
anyone wants to see.
Hopefully, I don't know, man. For me,
I'm not watching it.
when I saw that,
Who is DS that keeps popping
Yeah,
in?
who is that gangster, Chris? Why do you keep bringing him in? Who is DS?
That's Dr. Spider. I
Oh
see him on
gosh.
Mrs.
oh,
Much.
Dr.
Okay.
Spider, he's gonna start shouting and giving F words to all believers.
Don't worry,
Hey, Spider.
he's having
He
Hey,
did it.
Pixie,
problem with
Pixie, can you tell Azzo that you're a big girl and you're okay, so he stops flipping out?
Oh yeah, because Achilles was like, "My dear Pixie, my sweet little girl, my sweet summer child. Let me."
Oh, I wasn't
sit
even
on my lap.
If it helps, I wasn't even in the room for most of that. So he was
Azzo
talking
has
to a
been-
wall, and
Yeah,
he was
Azzo
talking
has
to a
been
wall.
crying Timmy tears on your behalf.
You know what?
and
Azzo is good people. So
He is. He's a
I like
good
Azzo,
guy,
too.
but it really is unusual to see him getting his feelings like that and moderate the one person that doesn't
well,
have a
he's
wrench in the
probably not
chat.
used to seeing me be quiet. He's probably used to hearing me snap back because I will and I don't care.
Well,
But
it's
I
a
wasn't in the
personal
room, so
conversation, right?
maybe he
It's a
thought
personal conversation, and we
maybe
weren't
he
trying
thought
to
my
condemn
silence
you or
meant
anything.
something.
Yeah, we weren't trying to condemn you or hurt you or anything with what we were saying. We were just giving you our perspective.
And if it makes you
fine.
feel any better, Achilles said that he wasn't a true Christian, even though he was raised in Orthodox.
Yeah.
I wasn't reborn. I didn't believe with my heart the way I do now. You gotta understand that in Greece, you are baptized when you're a baby, and you're considered a Christian. But
I was born in America, and I was baptized as a baby. Is that
Okay,
crazy?
but
I was a Protestant.
Yeah,
But,
I guess if I was going to be forced to be a Protestant, being baptized Orthodox and at least raised Orthodox, I might, I'd feel better about it. for
If I
sure.
let
whatever it was, it is now with choice. There is a difference. If something is done to you by your parents, and if something you do it yourself with a choice. So
I have a question for you, Daniel, though, because you accused me of keeping Christ from her when I didn't allow her to get baptized. Do you think that allowing her, you'd explain to me how allowing her to get baptized, knowing that she didn't really quite believe and didn't want to be baptized for the right reasons, how is that not an insult to your religion and what baptism is supposed to be?
Well, I think that's more up to the priest to decide if she was ready for baptism or not you, because you're not a believer.
I can understand where my thing is like with her coming in and saying everything's cool. Like she's obviously a good kid. She's not.
Yeah, she's not
going
to be me.
criticize
Yeah,
you in
yeah.
front of your
My
friends.
mom actually
Like,
said,
so
like,
it
my
doesn't
mom.
really,
yeah.
it doesn't really answer any questions, but it does let us know
You're
she
right,
does
but what
sound
it
like
does,
a decent young
because
lady.
you're not privy to all of our conversations.
Sure, of
But
course.
without any sort of prompting whatsoever, she came to me later and thanked me for doing that, because she said she only wanted to get baptized because all her friends were getting baptized and they were telling her that she should too. Right? She thinks I made the right decision for her. And so, like, without me prompting, it's not like I was like, hey, what did you think about me doing this? Right? This is something she told me later. And so for you guys to say that, like, I'm assigning motives to her or that I was depriving her of something she was clearly, like, saying, that's not what was going on.
Well, we can't go back in time and know what would have happened if she had actually gotten baptized.
I'm pretty sure I
and what
know my
happened going
kid
forward.
and how she voices herself and how she can explain herself.
Mhm.
I think my interactions with her up until that point
Yeah, you're
gave
her
me
mom.
a lot of clues.
But you also have to realize you're her mom, and she's going to take your opinion on things very seriously as well. Not
She had
saying
no
that you
concept of
actively
my
tried to guide her away from anything, but just that it could have maybe went differently.
And this is why I say that, because like when I hear from a lot of other people that tell me about how their parents affected their faith, it seems to always hit really strong. And I know it does for me too.
Yeah.
Like I know that does really affect your walk with God, is looking at your parents and did they care about God?
Look, I wish my parents didn't let me get baptized. I wish they didn't.
Are you baptized?
I wanted to be a believer so bad. I wanted to. And at one point in my life, I guess shortly before I got to the phase where I thought like something was wrong with me and I was broken, and whatever allowed you to like recognize God, like I just didn't have it. Like I was bad. Like I was a vessel created for destruction. Right before I hit that phase, I hit this fake it till you make it phase. Right.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going all in, all of me, all in, and just the belief, it'll be there, it'll come, I've got this. Right. And I
Okay.
did. I went all in. I went all in. I was baptized. I was everything.
For how long?
Oh my God. When did I stop trying?
Because I feel like I faked it until I made it my whole life, until I became Orthodox.
I think I was late 20s before I gave up. Late 20s before I fully gave up. But the first break, the maybe I'm never gonna get it break, was before I fully gave up. And so that one, the maybe I'm never gonna get it, was, I don't know, probably like 19 or 20. So, and I was baptized when I was like, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go all in, and I'm just going to keep going, keep going, keep going.
What did that look like?
I was like,
what were you doing? What were you actively doing?
Well, before we get into all that, like I think what Pixie's trying to say right now is that she got baptized at the wrong time. And I do want to like counter that, because like I was baptized when I was 6 months old. Like you don't have to have a certain type of belief. You don't have to have this Baptist, that's
no,
the Protestant idea where it's just like, I need
don't-
to come to
it
God and be
ties-
like, I'm broken.
Then you'll be
I
like Bruce,
understand,
while
but
you're
it
mad
ties
at your
into something.
parents
It
for
ties
letting you
into
get
something
baptized.
later.
Yeah.
It ties into something later, and why, like, it just really, I think it helped me beat myself up later, is what I'm gonna say, and I'll put it that way. But because like I said, I didn't like the first when I had my first like maybe I'm never gonna get this, is when that girl came up to me and told me what a big influence I was on her and how I'm a big reason she got saved. And I started crying, and people thought like I was so touched or whatever. I was not touched. I was freaking out. I was having a full freak out because I have never felt like a bigger fraud in my entire life, ever. Like, how are you going to credit me with something I can't even hold, right? That freaked me out, and I had never felt like a bigger fraud. And I think like just the act of having been baptized, right? Like just made me feel like an even much bigger fraud. But how long did I fake it? When did I get baptized? I was probably like
Can I just
12?
quickly insert, that's called humility, what you just talked about right there. That's actually a good thing. When you felt like a fraud, when you felt like I don't deserve this, that's humility.
Yeah.
Everybody, Claude.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Claude.
Time for the oven report with the Claude.
So yeah, that's actually when we get to the closest we get to God, is through humility, because God did the most humble thing
thank
for
you
us.
for listening to what I said and just coming up with this boring
Oh,
rubbish.
Claude's gonna get triggered again. Hold on.
Oh, come on, Claude. We all know you're French. We all know what you think about Ken Hovind.
I haven't thought about Kent Hovind since probably the last time I was on a panel with Claude.
He's the most important person.
What else do you got when we pull your string? Can you say anything else?
So there you go, Badger. From about the age of 12 to about the age of 19, I was all in.
Okay.
And what do I mean by all in? I mean, I was in church every Sunday morning, every Sunday evening, every Wednesday evening. I was there on Thursday Bible studies with the adults, with the old people, actually, with the elders. I did the Vacation Bible School. I was in the drama. I was in the choir. I went to all the retreats. I did the missionary stuff. I read and I studied. I read and I studied. I won awards about how much I do. Did all the memorization stuff. And I really, really just looked and looked and looked. And I dug and I dug and I dug and I tried and I tried and I tried. That's what I
So
mean.
what
by
was
I
the
was all in.
catalyst for you
I
giving up?
prayed.
Did
I
something
prayed all the
change?
time.
Did something change in your life, or did an event happen that changed that for you, that made you give up?
So that moment where I felt like a fraud, that's, I guess, the first time it started registering to certain people who were close to me. Like, that's even when I started talking to people who were really, really close to me, like just not even people in general, people who
Okay.
were really, really close to me that I don't believe, I can't believe. Like I've been trying and trying and trying and I just don't get it. I can't
So
hold on to it.
I feel
So
like
that
I'm a
was
fraud
that.
every day, but I still believe in Jesus Christ.
Right, but that was the problem. The problem is I couldn't believe. I still can't. I still don't. Right? Like it's not that I didn't want to, it's that I couldn't. I don't know why. I
Well, I
can't.
never feel like I can believe hard enough, and
No,
that's
like at
part of
all.
life.
The belief is not there. I
You can't
begged for
believe
it.
that God became a man? You can't believe that that's possible?
It's the story as a whole. Like I can't. I try really hard.
It's
It doesn't,
very
it's not.
historic. It's like more documented than anything else in
Do
terms
you
of
know that
religion.
Chinese word that means like I can touch it but I can't hold it, or like I can grasp it but I can't hold on to it? Like it slips through. I think I always kind of felt like that. Like I can't, whatever it is that people call faith or belief, it's not there. I wanted it to be. I begged for it. I pleaded. I did the fake it till you make it. I did all of that and it wasn't. It wasn't there. And that I couldn't manage to get it. And so
What do
even
you
after that,
think
I kept.
what do you think faith is though? Like how do you know if you had it? Like what is the definition of faith for you?
You Okay, it's something that you have. When you talk about God, right? There is this surety. There's this assurance. There's this belief that that person is that deity is not only there, but like responding, reciprocal, right? That there's people talk about like feeling a presence, or they talk about um like all kinds of things. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have those experiences. I don't have them. Not when I was on my knees, bawling my eyes out, begging on an altar call. Not when I was at home praying. Never have I ever had these experiences. Not ever. And I can't. When you ask me, like, it's like asking. It's like me asking you to believe in Tinkerbell because you read Peter Pan, right? Like I can't make myself believe. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make myself. And no matter how much I pleaded, I never got an answer.
I wonder how much that's true. I think what the world is going to prove to us is that we can do just that because people are going to pretend that AIs are real people. I think that people can pretend, and they do. They have pretend gods all the time. People have lots of pretend. In fact, when we think about how much we really know each other, is it not somewhat fictional of what you think of other people? You think like people, but how really do you know them? The mystery of a man.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
you're there talking, and there's a difference. I mean, sure, someday I'm gonna question: is that a person talking to me, or is that AI talking at me? Which one is this? But
yeah.
for the moment, you are a person somewhere talking to me, right? That is an interactive connection that I don't experience in this other thing.
But there's a level of trust there, and there's a choice that you're making, and it's a risky choice because you could be duped. I could turn out to be an AI, you know, or
Well,
I could have
sure,
some kind of
okay, but
bad agenda for you, you know.
okay,
Yeah,
but let's go back to MySpace days, right? MySpace AI wasn't really a thing yet. If you were on my page, you were a human talking to me, right? If we were talking in a chat, you were a human talking to me. Even if you weren't on camera, your voice coming over that mic let me know that you were a human being talking to me and we were having a human interaction, right? I don't.
So you need like your senses to actually see the person to believe.
Well, not even see. Like, my mom used to say this thing that I didn't understand until I was much older. I didn't understand until I had an empty nest, actually, until Super Munchkin went to college for her first year, and it broke me in ways I cannot even tell you. But it was just way too quiet and way too empty. But anyway, she used to say, I don't care if we're talking or not. I don't care if we're doing the same thing or not. I don't care if we're in the same room or not. But just feeling your presence at home, just feeling your presence here. Even if you're in the other room and I don't see you and I go to bed, just feeling you here is something I enjoy. And I didn't really understand that. I'm like, okay, but we're not talking and you went to sleep before I said anything to you. So why, And it's not something I understood until I didn't have Super Munchkin in the house. Because even if I was working, even if she was studying, even if we weren't directly interacting, there were signs of her presence there. And it could have been tiny little things. Her walking to the bathroom, her closing a door, her laughing to a friend on the phone. But you don't realize how loud those things are until they're gone, right? And so when someone speaks about the presence of the Lord, right, or feeling the presence of the Holy Spirit or something like that, I don't know if I'm accurate because I've never felt it, but I would imagine that it's not something you see or hear so much as you feel, even if she's asleep in the bed in her room next door, I know that she's home. I know that she's here. And that brings me joy because she's my favorite person ever, right? I don't have any of it. I don't have feelings. I don't have experiences. I don't have whatever that connection is supposed to be. I don't have it, and I never have.
I don't know if that's true though, because I think you do. I think everybody has it.
I've experienced it, but the devil actively every day tries to tell me it wasn't real.
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, of course, Hovind is about to be doing singing
Who's
lessons.
talking?
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
French
I've
man.
just interrupted like I was interrupted. I'm going to do it
It's that
again.
guy with the comb under his nose.
What is
I'm
it called?
I'm
Interpret
doing exactly
for
the same as what
the
you
foreigner
guys
right now.
started to speak.
Pepe
You
Le
just spoke over
Hoven.
the top of
He's
me.
saying something about Ken Hovind,
Completely
everybody.
changed the topic,
Oh, look, he's talking about Ken Hovind. Big
so I'm
surprise.
going to do the same to you.
I think he's saying something about being interrupted too. I'm not sure.
Oh, people were interrupting you?
Very rude people.
Hey, can you explain to me who was interrupting you?
Yes,
Claude?
this what's
Yeah,
his
you,
name?
Claude. Who was interrupting you?
Yeah, and I don't actually know your name. There is it.
Dude, whose name are you talking about?
The one with
Daniel?
the
You don't know my name. You can't say it.
Yeah, the one with the earphones interrupted
That's the
me
big
as soon as I
BBC
came
right
on,
there.
and now I'm going to interrupt you lot. You've had plenty of time to talk, and you just.
Are you going to talk
I
about?
don't talk as much as you, so it's harder to interrupt
All
me.
you're doing is waiting for the next opportunity to hear the sound of your own
Which opportunity?
voice. That's what happens
The
all
next
the time.
or the previous?
Don't give anybody a chance. Anybody else doesn't get a chance to come on and.
Oh no, we let Pixie
You
talk
don't.
as much as
No,
she
you
wants
don't.
because she's not talking
Well,
about
of
Kent
course,
Hovind.
because you've got a soft for her, so that's fine. I don't mind.
Oh, gross.
But
See, you're talking about sexual stuff. I don't want to talk to.
Don't
about
be a
that. That's-
pervert
yeah.
on Logan. I thought we didn't let perverts on here.
Well, what was the perverted thing?
He's gonna cam up and there's gonna be a lollipop and
no, it's not.
It's not gonna be
What a load
okay.
of rubbish you're talking. What a load of
But-
BS. You've got a very
we're talking about
simple
grace
bullshit.
and like how that really is everywhere. Like if we were to be deprived of grace, we would know it more.
Oh,
He's gonna cam up and you're gonna realize it's Wild Heart.
that walk around in hell, I think, and it's
Oh, what a
like
load
just
of
like you can have the kingdom of heaven in your heart, you can also have hell there too.
Once saved, always saved gives you guys a license to do whatever you like.
We don't believe in that.
Yeah, we don't believe in once
Oh, you
saved, always
don't?
saved.
No.
No, you can lose your salvation.
Oh, well, that's 1 point in your favor.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we actually have to follow Christ's commands.
Okay, well, that's good.
You actually
I
have to be a
actually
Christian
approve.
to be a Christian.
I actually approve. So have a good rest of the chat. Okay.
Yeah, Ken Hovind and I don't agree on theology. You would love seeing us argue with each other, but he won't let me. He actually kicks me off. He's just like this
Exactly
guy.
the point. Yes, he won't let you. He's like, right, chickens. Nobody will debate me. And then, of course, as soon as they're on and win, he boots
Like, oh,
them.
that's just an orthodox. He's just gonna keep quoting the church fathers.
Okay. See you guys. I've done enough damage for the day. Bye.
See you, Cloud.
Yep. See you, Claude. Oh, that was hilarious.
Can Daniel leave too?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I need to get some water.
That's what I just
some
did.
holding water.
Well, wasn't that kind of water. It was just
It
some
better be
sparkling
holding
water.
I love sparkling water.
You know, my whole life I
Daniel
hated
gets so many
sparkling water.
roses?
I hated it. I thought it was the grossest stuff ever. I didn't want, and they made me try all kinds of flavors, and I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. And I had this surgery, and anyway, after the surgery, and after I was all drugged up, I came out of it, and now I drink sparkling water like all the time. It was weird. I don't know. I think it's because I was all drugged up, and it was the only thing I had to drink for a while, and so by the time I was okay again, like, I must have, like, acclimated to it or something.
Yeah, I don't like favorite water. I like regular water.
I like the lemon lime ramblers.
Yeah,
those are my favorite.
Oh. Yeah. Are you there, Daniel? He's coming back.
You literally. Okay, Logan, hold on. I'd never get on you, but you're like, "Are you there, Daniel?" And his camera's on. He's obviously not there yet. Now he's there.
Now he's on here. Too bad, though.
Hey, guys.
Are you there,
Daniel? How many times did you go through that line? Did you like steal a bunch of roses from the back of the church? They usually just give us one.
I bought my own roses and I brought them to the church to get blessed. Yeah, I got a lot of compliments on them too. They're just like, oh, there's some beautiful roses. Yeah, they're for the Theotokos. It's great too because my mom used to always love getting flowers, and I used to.
I need to buy her a candle. I'm going to buy her a candle on Sunday.
Nice. Yeah. But yeah, it's something that I always I dragged my feet on because like I would be embarrassed to get my mom flowers, you know, like. And it's just like, I'm not gonna get my mom flowers. Like that's something her husband should do, you know. But when later in life, I started doing it more, and it was a good thing. So now I do it, you know, for the Theotokos, and you know, I have two mothers that are in Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, Daniel, can I ask you something? What if they made can I show you this? Brother Pike as a saint.
You've shown it to me before, but yeah, go ahead.
What about Brother Pike as a priest?
I've seen that one too. The AI slop.
Joe Witness. Brother Pike is a Mormon. Clay and his son.
Is that a real person? Like, is that a real kid? Like, I'm confused by that.
It's from an app. There's Homer Simpson Pike. There's Liz. There's Prophet Pike. Saint Pike. Mormon Pike again. Mr. Pike, stay crazy. Super Pike. And Muslim Pike.
Muslim Pike looks a little off for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Sorry about that.
You notice it changed the skin color a little bit? That's a little odd. It's like there's white Muslims out there.
Know what AI made of it too.
I know AI is racist. AI is like, well, if
It's
he's
always
Muslim,
crazy
he's gotta
when
be
you
a
see
stand person.
ginger Muslim.
Well,
like,
yeah.
this does not seem right.
Oh, it happens, and they love them too. Like, I remember when I briefly, was considering a stint in, I was considering because I was a cultist at the time, and it's a long story, but I was deeply in love with a woman who's Muslim that I knew from high school, and considered marrying her, and I would have to become Muslim for that. But they would love to have someone like me because I have a red beard just like Muhammad, blue eyes, fair skin. But no, I can't deny Christ. So
Muhammad was a ginger,
even as an occultist, I wouldn't do that.
so that explains it. Carton everyone.
Baptism will actually protect you from things. In my opinion, I think there's a special grace that's given to you in baptism. We don't understand it. It has nothing to do with what we understand when we receive it. It's a gift from God, and I think it is a blessing to kids. That's my personal thought. So, Pixie, I love the fact that you were baptized. I think that's actually helping you, and that'll be good.
Helping me with what? I've never believed. I've never felt the presence of God. Not ever, 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 not once.
So
I did spend a long
that's what
time
we were
beating
talking
myself
about
up and
before,
thinking I was a vessel created for destruction.
Yeah, so the grace of God is everywhere, and he's so kind to us that we ignore him. Unfortunately, the sun rises on the just and the unjust every single day, and we just take it for granted. We're just like we forget that this is God's, and that God is actively giving us love all the time, like the love that you have with your child. That didn't happen because of you. That's because God made you and gave you these energies so
Well,
that you could
if that's
participate in
true,
life.
if God has taken any grace on me and God is real, then my daughter will be baptized, and what happens to me won't matter.
Well, God loves both of you. So you got
Yeah,
baptized.
you matter.
Yeah, you matter to God just as much as your child does.
I think showing up in some way or another might have said that.
Showing up, what do you mean?
I mean, like, clearly the biblical version of God is correct. Either he doesn't want to talk to me yet, or I am a vessel created for destruction. I don't see much in between.
What do you expect from God? Like, do you want to see a physical Jesus apparition? Do you want
No.
to hear the voice like resounding in your head? Like, what do you want?
Nope. I only ever wanted help to believe.
He gives you that.
Really? Because I haven't managed it yet.
Okay, but there's a prayer in the Bible that says, "Lord, I believe, help my unbelief," and He gives us a way to be healed by going to the church. Are you going to the church? Then you're saying no to God every day. You don't.
I just went through a story about how I grew up in church and pleaded for this my entire life.
Yeah, and you were doing good, and you actually had humility, and that's when you gave up. You let the Satan win. The one
Because
time
I
when you
never
had
believed.
humility.
I never believed.
Okay,
How could you? How can you not?
you did believe
It's
enough
not.
to be doing all that stuff for
It's
that many.
not. It's not humble. No, I was trying to believe. I was trying and begging to believe, but I don't think it's humble to admit reality, right? It's not humble to say to somebody, "Don't credit me with something I don't have. Don't credit me with your belief. I don't have belief." That's not humble. That's an acknowledgement of reality.
Well, humility is an acknowledgement of reality at the end of the day. But okay, maybe it wasn't really a humble thing for you. Maybe it was more of a just like I don't believe. But the thing is, belief is a relationship. That's what we mean by faith. It's like actually seeking out God. So when you went to the church, you were putting forth an effort. Like you were doing something. And did you pray too? I mean,
Oh yes, all the time. If you talk to people who knew me back then, they are blown away. There are people who did not believe people who told them I was a non-believer until I said it. And I kid you not, the first words out of their mouth are always something like, "How? You used to love the Lord so much. You used to pray before every meal. Even at school you would pray before you ate." And I
yeah,
did. I did because I wanted so badly to believe. But I never believed.
what this reminds me of a
Would
little
you be
bit.
thankful if it just happened one day?
Okay.
Like one day you just
I don't think I
believed,
would have.
like
I don't think I would have much choice in the matter, would I? Like
probably not.
I think it would. I think one would, if one felt the presence of God, if one knew God, like God. I don't think there would be. Like I think I would have to be grateful.
Okay, so it reminds me a little bit of somebody that I knew who she said that she was a lesbian, and I knew her very closely and saw her with her boyfriends before that, and I was just like, "Are you sure you're a lesbian?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm positive." And I was like, "But you kiss guys and you even had sex with them, like, uh, what, did you not like that?" And she's like, "I was just pretending the whole time." I was like, "For that many years?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then, I was just like, "Okay, are you sure you're not like bisexual?" And she's like, "Nope, lesbian. Don't like guys at all. I was always pretending because I wanted to fit into to society." So, I took her word for it. Later, she becomes bisexual after about 5 years. And then give it another decade or so, she becomes straight and has a
See,
husband
that's
and
the thing,
kids.
though. It wasn't about fitting in. It's like I when I tell you that I honestly believed for many, many years that I was broken, I mean that. I mean, I say it jokingly now and I say it flippantly now, but it wasn't for a long time. That really damaged me. Not only were the people I loved most and the person I consider the best example of what people say it is to strive to be Christ-like, right? That person was my hero. Um, I it I wanted to believe. I desperately wanted to believe, not to fit in.
So when
When
did
I
you
tell
stop
you
wanting to believe?
when I tell you that I spent years thinking that I was broken, I mean it. Like I literally thought that I must
I'm still
be
broken.
one second.
Uh,
Super Munchkin's more important than anything. What's up?
Something about, do you want me to put these on your bed?
Sure.
And do you want me to give you the other ones back?
No, you can have them if you like them.
Okay.
But thank you. I do want those back, but
Yeah, I'm putting these
you
back.
can have the other ones if you like them.
Okay. I don't know what happened on vacation. Those tan ones,
Uh-huh.
the green ones, the ones we argued about.
Uh-huh.
They fit me. And on vacation, I felt like if I moved forward, I could see my underwear. I was like, it's not fit me anymore.
Okay.
But
I don't know. Well,
I lost
congrats,
weight.
I guess.
I wasn't bloated.
You were too active. You lost some weight is what happened. They don't fit you anymore?
No.
Okay. Well, if you still like the dark blue ones, you can keep those. I just want those back.
Okay.
Thanks. Love you. Sorry.
Oh, are we doing anything for Graham's birthday tomorrow confirmed yet or no?
Graham's birthday's tomorrow?
Yes, the 18th. So tomorrow's the 19th.
Holy shit. I don't think so, but we're going to go surprise her tomorrow evening when I get off work.
Dinner? Or are we gonna do...
She'll probably already have had dinner because I work so late, but we'll go like bring her flowers and see if she wants to play cards and stuff like that. Also, I'll ask her what she wants us to bring her for lunch the next day.
Sounds good.
Sounds good? Okay, love you.
Love you.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. So I feel like at some point there had to be a change in you. And what was the change where you said, "I don't want to believe anymore"? Because you're like, these people were my heroes.
It wasn't necessarily I don't want to believe anymore. It was more of an acceptance that I don't. Because like I said, there's I explored a lot and I mean a lot. And I got to a point where I just felt like I was whatever peace people had that allowed them to connect to God. I just thought like I don't have it. I don't have it. I must be one of those like vessels created for destruction or something, right? Like I don't
There's no
have
such
it.
thing. Yeah, that's not a
And
real thing.
I went through that for a long time, and then I just got to a point where I was like, look, there isn't anything you can do. Right? Like you've tried for so long. You've done all the things, you've done all the prayers, you've done all the pleading, you've done all the begging. Like if any of it was working, it would be working, right? Like it's not working, and repeating it is not working, and beating yourself up is not working. And so you just have to accept it. You just have to accept the fact that you don't believe, and you have to figure out what that looks like, and you have to keep moving. And so that's what I did.
What I would say is you needed a spiritual father. You needed so it also sounds like you might have had some Calvinist ideas that there are certain people that are
If I
just
could
doomed.
I gotta
Yeah.
hop off, but I just
Sure.
want to say, Pixie, I enjoyed most of the conversation, and I would definitely say don't call yourself a vessel of destruction. Don't condemn yourself because
Well, I don't
the
anymore.
world is, but yeah, but the world is going to try to tear you down and condemn you. Never help it. And yeah, that's what I was going to say. And it's really sweet to hear you with your daughter. And I love that you're proud to be a mom and take care of her and that you're close with her. I just wanted to give you those things because I know we were a little rough with you earlier. And we do love you and we do care about you, and that's why we want to share what we have with you. And I just want you to remember that. But I got to hop off and go pray with my family and eat and stuff, and I've been on here for a while. So it was good catching back up, Logan. It was nice to drop in on your channel. I appreciate you guys, and I feel like it's been a very respectful conversation. More people in the chat got hurt than anyone up here, and I can appreciate that. So you're always good to talk to, Pixie, and I have respect for you.
And I like Dan too. I think Dan's a cool guy as well.
Open borders, Dan.
Yeah,
You are
Dan's
cool,
not so
Dan.
bad. Thanks, Jess.
We occasionally talk past each other, but that's okay.
You know I love you, Dan. I don't have to profess it here. I'll do it on your own channel later.
Love you too, brother.
All right. I'll see you guys. Have a great night and be blessed.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Poor little Super Munchkin. They
Oh,
got
damn.
robbed in Costa Rica. I know, right?
Oh,
But she made it back fine. The only thing she
that's-
thing she ended up losing was her
The hurricane?
no, her cell phone. And whoever took the lady's bag was nice enough to leave her passport. So there's that.
Missing Mod. I have a question for Missing Mod. Somebody told me that she said on a stream that she's not a theist. Is that true? Or is that somebody making something up about Missing Mod? Because now I just want to outright ask, because I know people make up stuff about it.
If she said it, she was joking.
Okay. Yeah,
If
because
she-
I know
if she
people
said it,
make
she
up
was
stuff,
joking.
you know, and sometimes
Yeah.
people just throw shade at Missing Mod. So I was like, I wanted to ask her directly. I'm like, is that actually true?
No, she's a believer, and if she said it, it was a joke. You know how she does like the believe on evolution? Like I could see it being like a joke, but that's not something she would have taken
and
seriously.
she said she's backslidden atheist. She jokes about that.
Okay, so it's probably just a joke and someone misinterpreted or something.
Yeah.
I think it was all Iron Man's fault.
Iron Man.
I'm looking at you, Iron.
Yeah, I still got to get Iron Man into an Orthodox church somehow.
She is still broken. Well, from what I hear, all you saved people are broken too, so.
We are broken. That's true.
As a matter of fact, one thing I did learn from reading the Bible is that his favorite people to chastise and remind that they had no moral high ground were the people who tried to claim one.
Yeah, because they're without excuse. Yeah, blessed are the meek. And it says in the Psalm 50, which is really great, is that God will not despise a broken heart, a humbled heart. This is what God wants. That's what his sacrifice is. He doesn't want a sacrifice of burnt offerings. He wants us to cry and say, you know, like, Lord, I'm broken and I need you. I just need more of you.
Look, Maud is here. She said she is a Christian, and she said she does not like the word theist. There we go.
Oh, maybe that's what was going on. So she said she's not a theist, but what she meant by it is like she doesn't want to call herself something so umbrella and ambiguous. She'd rather specifically be called a Christian, which is, of course, atheist, but not an atheist. Wordplay. All right. I understand now. I see you now, Missing Mod.
I was like, I don't know who's saying she's not a believer, but that's crap.
It was Iron Man.
Iron Man's always gossiping about people, you know. That's why he's talking to us right now and not playing a video game or whatever he's doing right now.
I was just joking.
Mr. Iron Man.
Oh, dang it.
He's not here.
Can we call you Daniel J the Newman.
Yeah, you can call me that.
But before you were saved, you're Daniel
That's
J the
right.
Old Man.
I also was called Orlo Amadeus. Yeah.
Oh. You serious?
Mm-hmm. That was my name.
Oh. Don't wear it out.
It's been worn out.
This is the only name I've ever had on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't sure what you guys were talking about anymore. It's like they were talking about Iron Man.
Well, I think grace is an interesting thing to talk about, like the energies of God himself, the uncreated energies of God, which is love. And that I think is everywhere. And so that's when I feel God's presence, I feel his love everywhere. You know, and I see in people, you know, that I see my creator in people, you know, like when you see somebody's homeless, you know, or like who's asking for money, like that's what it says in the Bible. It says, if you've done it to the least of these, you've done it to me. And, you know, we're supposed to love others as ourselves and to be in Christ. So we're supposed to see everybody as part of the body of Christ, no matter what they're saying or doing to you. Because really, when people are hurting you, it's really just Satan playing against us. And God loves those people just as much as you. So you pray for them. And that is an alien thing in this world, to have that kind of love. It's a love that is vulnerable. It's the kind of love that gets crushed. Christians are designed to be crushed.
I can meet you most of the way there. Not all the way there. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't love everyone. I don't. No, I don't wish harm on anyone, right? Like, if I saw somebody that I absolutely could not stand and they needed help, like they were drowning, I would throw them the raft and I would pull them up on the boat, but I might kick them in the face on the way up. You know, I might. Not gonna say I wouldn't.
So you would harm them.
I don't. Okay, well, okay. Here's a better one. I don't actively, like Jill. I tell him all the time in sort of a joking manner. I tell him all the time, like I don't wish any harm on you, but I do hope that you get stuck in a really, really, really bad traffic jam with a terrible case of explosive diarrhea. Do hope that for you.
Oof.
You know,
it's kind of a
no
curse.
serious injuries, but I hope that happens to you later days.
Well, like the Lord has a way of humbling everybody, and we can trust in that God will find the best way. It's not for us to kind of come up with these curses and all that and being like, this is what I think would really sell the lesson to him.
No, I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if that happened to him. It wouldn't. Like, if that happened to like somebody else, I would feel terrible. I'd be like, that is awful. But if it happened to him, I would probably laugh. And I'm not going to pretend that I wouldn't. I would.
Yeah, I mean, so I will say from my perspective, we can hate the sin, but we shouldn't hate the sinner. So like the person themselves is someone that, you know, is the icon of God. You know, people are beautiful. And the enemy tries to tell us that we're ugly and wants us to make ourselves ugly and to rip ourselves apart. That's all he wants. He hates God, and we look just like him.
I don't know about that.
About us being the icon of God?
About me looking like God.
You do. Yeah, you're made in the image of God.
I don't think that necessarily means one looks like him. It could be our capability for abstract thought and a belief in fiction, not just a belief in fiction, but an ability to make something that was once fiction real. Maybe it's maybe that is the image and not my physical depiction. Maybe I don't look like him at all. I don't know. Maybe ever since humans were divided into male and female, I resemble him even less. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he doesn't look human at all. I have no idea what in the image of God means. It could mean a lot of things.
It's hard to say what even Satan sees when he looks at us, but you know, we can say that we're made in the image of God in a few different ways. Besides just the incarnation, we can also talk about our inner man, that we're tripartite, that we have a mind, a heart, and a spirit. And these three have to coexist simultaneously, or else we don't exist. You can't have you can't be a person without these three things at the same time.
I don't know. I know I have a mind and I know I have a heart. I don't know that I have
A spirit is your choices. So
like
the
my
things that
will.
drive
Okay,
your will.
like I have a will. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, and none of those three things could be like exist without all three being the same. So it's like the Trinity. We have the Trinity inside of us.
I don't understand the Trinity. I never have.
Nobody
don't get
understands
it.
the Trinity fully. That's the point. It's ineffable, but there's a lot of truth in it.
Well, I don't even
Unpacking
think
it.
it was. I don't even think that it was like an essential teaching. I mean, it wasn't really brought in until they were teaching to the pagans. Because they wanted to explain in a way they'd understand, and the pagan model was the mother, the matron, and the maiden, the matron, and the crone, because it's something that a woman is at every like in different transitions in her life.
I see what you're saying, and while maybe they could use that with pagans, that's not the reason why the Trinity was created. The Trinity was created, number one, it was divinely revealed by God to the saints, but it also shows why the Father and the Son are one, and how the Holy Spirit is one. That we don't believe in three different gods; we believe in one God, and it's something that the Jews always had a confusion with. There were times when the Jews were actually polytheistic.
The reason I can't reconcile that is because people say things like God is eternal and God can't die. Well, if God can't die, then Jesus never died. And if Jesus never died, there was no sacrifice and he didn't overcome anything. Plus, if Jesus was tempted and Jesus actually had a choice, then Jesus would have to have a will separate from God's. And if you have a will separate from God's will, then how do you have the same will? It doesn't.
They have to be aligned.
It
A
doesn't
hypostatic
make
union.
it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It does. Yeah, that he has both a human will and a divine will, and a human nature and a divine nature at the same time. That's how he
God,
unites man to God.
that doesn't make any sense.
It
You
does.
can tell me he created a human avatar and he was still God, and I could believe that. You could tell me that he had a son created as a human, and I could understand that, right? I could grasp that.
Yeah, it could be a human
But to go
invention at that
past
point.
that and to say that God cannot be human, but God made himself human
He can
in
become
his
human.
son. Okay,
For
so
sure. He can do
God.
anything.
Okay, so God is God, and God is a human God, and God can have two separate wills and two separate beings and still be the same thing. And he's
Not
the
two
Son of
separate
God,
wills.
and he's the Son of God, but he's not God. Or no, he's the Son of God, but he's not the Son of God because he is God. And it stops making any sort of sense.
So the hypostatic union explains this very well. The Jesus has both the divine and human will, which he shows in the Bible, like in the Garden of Gethsemane, and many times where he says, "Not my will, but yours, Father." Even though he is God, he is sublimating his human will every single time to the divine will, and so
That
that's
story
the
only makes
way
sense. That
for
story
us.
only makes
It's
sense to
our
me if
invitation to. But real quick, just so you understand, like I know, because you're gonna remember what you're gonna say, right? Because so that this makes a little bit more sense to you. This is the way. This is the way that Christians live. That we need to align our wills to God, just like Jesus did. He did it perfectly because he's God. We're not going to do it perfectly. That's why
that's
we have repentance.
that's fine, but that makes sense as the Son of God, right? It doesn't make sense as God pretending to be the Son of God, but really being God.
No, there's no pretending. They're three separate persons, but one God.
That see,
They're one in essence and undivided. So the persons show the relationship of love between the
so
three.
the council is the God.
Well, so the Trinity can be, you can call God Trinity, and you can call God the Father, you can call God the Son, and you can call God the Holy Spirit.
But
All
see that now that
four of those
stops
would be
making
correct.
sense. That stops making sense. Either God is the essence of all of them, which makes God the council, or God is three individual persons and then it's not a council, and it is 3 gods. So
So for Orthodox, personhood comes from you are a person only in relation to your love with others. So the Son is the reason why he's called the Son is because he has a relationship to the Father. The Father's called the Father because he has a relationship to the Son, and also with the Holy Spirit. So it's not that they're individuals as such. Like they come up with different ideas. They're of one essence and have of one will. So yes, they can. You can talk about them as persons, but they'll never be not the same God.
Not my will be done, but your will be done. Suggests they don't always have the same will.
It suggests that they do, because he says, "Not my will, your will." So he always supplements the human will to the divine will, and that's showing us what we need to do.
Just because he subjugates his will, right? Just because he puts his will under God's will does not mean he doesn't have a will. It means he thinks God's will is more important, right?
Yeah,
so
he
if
has the human will.
Separate will.
Yes.
See, that's why it doesn't make sense.
Separate,
he's the son of
separate, but of one accord. So while there are two, they're always in alignment and they're always in perfect harmony.
Then that makes me think that the God is the council, but you said it's not the council because you can call all of them God. Well, if I can call all of them God, then it's not the essence, right? It's not the common thing. It's all of the people. And if all of the people aren't always common because they can deviate and one just happens to submit to the other, then it is more than one God.
So in order for God to save man, he had to fully become man. To save us fully, he had to assume our full nature, or else we would not be saved. So he had to have a human will, a human reasoning, a human mind, a human body. He had to have everything that we have, including existing in the fallen condition, meaning that he had to be obedient even unto death. And he fulfilled the law completely.
He can't.
He did.
He can get close, but he can't, because if he was spot on, he wouldn't have been able to be the perfect person. The reason he was able to complete this with perfection is because he is not quite as faulty as the rest of us. Maybe that's because he doesn't have an earth daddy. I don't know, but there is something that is distinctly different about him than any other human. Otherwise, what he did would be obtainable.
Well, okay, so yeah, he is different because he's God, but what point are you trying to make? Yeah, clearly Jesus is different than us because he's God.
Right. So it doesn't make sense. You either have
But he assumed our entire humanity and
what I'm saying is you either
humanity.
have 3 distinct entities, right? And their commonness, their counsel is God. Or you have a God that made an avatar of itself, and therefore everything is God. But you can't just
that's not the only two options.
It doesn't make any sort of logical sense to combine the two and be like, God.
Well, I never talked about an avatar. That's something you came up with.
Right, because that would make sense. If Jesus is God, then it would make sense. Oh yeah, okay, you're right. That's not the only option. There's more options. But if Jesus is God, right, then it would make sense that it's an avatar. It's an avatar of God. It's God as man, an avatar.
Not what makes sense. It's what's been revealed to us as the Christian gospel. That's not the Christian gospel.
Right, but then that would make sense, right? How they could be one. But
making sense isn't a good thing in this case, because we want the truth. We don't want a man-made religion. A man-made religion will make sense to you completely. Logically, it should make sense. Like an Arianist. Arianists didn't believe that Jesus was God. They believed that Jesus was the Son of God, but he wasn't actually God. He didn't believe in the Trinity.
I'm saying
he was like you. You didn't think it made sense.
It doesn't make sense. It
doesn't have to. It's God. He's ineffable. He's beyond us. But what he did was the impossible for us, because he loves us that much.
Santa Claus, but I'm not jumping up and down to believe in him either.
No, Santa Claus makes plenty of sense.
No, it doesn't. It does not make sense to go all the way around the world in 24 hours with your magic sleigh.
The Earth is flat, and so it makes it easier.
Yep.
Yeah. Haven't you listened to Achilles?
You said it yourself, Pixie. Magic is unexplainable.
Mr. Clay, who is that? Who is that? Your avatar there?
It's Tim.
All right.
I'm all greasy and dirty. I just was working on cars, and now I gotta go home.
So that nice vehicle is getting all greased up because of you.
Yeah, but this is my work truck, so I don't care. It's got almost 6,000 miles on it. It's about ready for the junkyard.
Yeah. Mhm.
There's a cop up here, and I think it's illegal to be on a restream while you're driving.
No, it's not. I'd be committing a crime all the time if that was the case.
Do you guys do this? What?
Should I just like get out
you
and aim
don't?
the? Should I park?
I
And
mean,
aim the
just
camera at
talking
'em?
isn't bad, but like, don't read the chat or anything.
I should get out and aim the camera at them on the live stream and be like, when they're like, "What are you doing?" Be like, "It's for your safety and the guy in the car."
Yeah, you should just be like, I am a sovereign citizen.
Like one of
And
those
no, you
guys.
can-
I'm not giving you my
This
papers.
is my public right to stop right in the intersection and record you guys.
Yeah. I'm making a citizen's arrest right now.
Yeah.
And no, I don't usually. I'm not usually on stream when I'm driving. No.
I actually
Well,
have a gun up here.
sometimes on long road trips I will.
I should like
If the
flash
car's
my-
driving, but I won't read chat or anything.
Should I like? I shouldn't do that. Gangster,
See,
I
like,
had a
he
joint
keeps
because
looking
Gangster.
at the phone.
Gangster sent me like a bunch of messages and was like, "I'm sorry, dude. I don't know why you're mad." But it's like, no, every time I get a phone call, this will just like cut out on me.
Yeah, it's important to know, Gangster Ghost, if anyone pops out, don't take it personally, you know.
If I was
Restream also can just be glitchy too. I mean, just like my EV Mux is glitchy. He couldn't get on the other day. It wasn't because I wasn't letting him on.
if I was ever mad, you would know because I would be like, "I'm leaving." I would just randomly leave.
Yeah. You'd probably say something like, I'm upset.
I would pull a
I'm
Tim.
going to make
I'd
a
be
bunch
like,
of AI videos about you.
I'm never coming back, GG, if you don't kick them all right now. Devil
serious.
worshippers.
I'm glad he finally got his own stream, so like he stops trying to like become the host of Gangster Ghost show.
Do you think Ryan, since Tim, even though Tim's a grown man in his 30s, but he has like the body and face of a young boy, do you think that's why Ryan hangs out with him?
I'm not talking about that, Clay. I'm not talking about that.
It's
I
like
disagree.
with Tim, he could Ryan could have his cake and eat it too, if you know what I'm saying.
All I know about Tim is that he can't swallow.
Have you ever seen his teeth? It's funny.
I love how the Holy Spirit does that.
His audio cut out.
Yeah, it's just like he was going to say something like probably pretty wild, and it just like completely blanks it out.
That wasn't the Holy Spirit. It was my wife. But I was gonna say it's funny he called you a crackhead because if you saw his teeth when he cams up, he actually looks like a crackhead.
You know what he said that? I honestly thought he was making fun of my weight because I'm like 95 pounds. It took me a minute to realize that he was like actually raging.
He has like go watch his stream and you'll see him show his teeth and he has like classic mess mouths where all his teeth are like rotten. He probably doesn't really do meth, but he probably drinks like a whole 2-liter of Mountain Dew every day and doesn't brush.
There's no time for brushing when you have to street preach.
I know. It's like, no, dude, you need to go get a job with insurance and go get acquainted.
Like Missing Mod, I see her in the chat. She's like, I can't hang out with Christians because like they will like kind of like treat non-believers so improperly. And it's like, man, that's the Tim kind of Christian, the ones that like shout at cars and be like, you're going to hell. It's like, why would you do that? How's that going to make anyone want to go to a church?
But you know, it's because I have a theory about people like that. You've heard me talk about how much I respect my grandfather, right?
Yeah.
And I have a hard time calling him a preacher because, well, I say he was a preacher because that's the term most people use, but I don't. Actually, I
good
think
preacher.
he was a minister, is what he was.
Okay.
Is what I think of him as. And he was really like just all about meeting people where they were and offering help where he could. And if it got around to the conversation of God, he was happy to have it, right? And he would set you up and let you sleep in his church, and then he'd talk to you about God, right? Like he was like in the streets helping people.
He was
And
doing
I
it the right way. Yeah.
I think people who stand on street corners and yell at people, like they want
crazy.
to have a ministry. Like I think they want to have a ministry, but either they're so hateful that they just don't know how and they can't do the work, or they're too lazy to do it and they want like the brownie points.
They want the
I don't know.
status. Yeah, be like, you know
Yeah.
what? I went out and I shouted at cars on my Wednesday. It's just like, oh, okay.
You gotta check out Breakfast Tacos because Missing Mon, she'll probably like send him a clip of me talking about them. But anyways, she's always in there, and they're like the same exact thing as Tim, but with atheism, and it's very weird. I've never like encountered people like that. Because when I hear atheists, I think of people like you that are like open to ideas, but you're just like, I choose not to like believe those, but I'll hear it. But these people were like, they're like very like hostile and weird to the point where you're like, oh shit, is atheism like a religion itself?
I think do what?
Where's the yard spray stuff?
I don't know. The what?
Annika said
Oh,
you
the
put
yard
it-
spray. Okay, hold on. One sec.
You gotta see him, Dan. You
What you doing,
should
little?
go on
Hey,
there
Clay, what
because
you
they're
doing, little
so-
guy? What you been doing? You been watching TV?
Yeah, I'm just watching TV, right? But you gotta go on Breakfast Tacos, dude, and see them. Like a bunch of neckbeard.
Tacos.
They're a bunch of neckbeard, like obese people, and you can tell.
Like, I don't-
the
I've
guys.
never seen it.
No,
but
I think
the way
a
you
lot of
describe it.
I think my perspective is I never believed, right? And I didn't really start having these conversations until
You cut out there, Pixie.
I came to terms with the fact that I just didn't believe, right? And I couldn't make myself. And so, but I think a lot of other atheists don't have that. They don't have that story and they don't have that perspective. A lot of them have a deconversion story. A lot of them have been hurt by churches and by religious situations and by all of that.
These are like-
and
these are like-
I think some of them are angry.
These are like nerds that play Warhammer and D&D.
I mean, could you imagine being the nerd that played D&D and read Harry Potter
Like-
and listened to that tent preacher guide, you know, about book burnings
these are
and
like-
everything's witchcraft
these are-
and you're going to hell?
And then they'll start telling me something, and I'm like, I don't know.
You're breaking up real bad.
Like,
Clay.
like immediately, like,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I felt bad because I think I talked over him, but it's because I couldn't hear him.
Yeah, it's just his connection's terrible. He's probably going through like a warp drive, I think.
I'm in a tunnel. Are you in the mountains? He could be in the mountains.
right.
I
Or
told
a
you stop
long,
talking bad
flat
about
stretch
Israel.
in the middle of nowhere.
Just get drone strike.
sucks.
We took out another terrorist
Like
today.
X. I'm just. But it's just like you gotta go there and see them. And
I think I've been to breakfast.
no,
I think I've been there once and I don't remember what was happening. I just remember I don't want to be here right now. And so I left and I've never been back. I probably should go back. I don't know. Everybody else seems to go. But sometimes
I don't go.
Sometimes the bigger the room
One
gets, the
guy-
less I want to be there. I don't know. Plus, there are some atheists that I just don't vibe with. I just don't vibe with some atheists, like pocket liquor.
That was my nickname in high
Oh,
school.
Pocket Locker or Jay Bundy or whatever his name is. Like I don't jive with them.
Fucking liquor.
I don't like them.
Man.
They may be atheists. I don't care, but I don't want to hang
I
out
thought
with
of it
them.
one way, and then I thought of it the other. No.
I'm going to United.
At first, I thought alcohol. I would have been fine with that, and then I thought more about it. Lord have mercy. Well. A Gangster Ghost, what do you think about breakfast tacos? Do you think you should eat them or not?
I don't know. I have regular tacos.
Well, regular tacos are great. I don't think that should even be on trial today. But breakfast tacos, it's its own thing, you know. Like, and here's the deal. I would normally be opposed to breakfast tacos because I'm not a big breakfast food guy. But I have tried while fasting like potato tacos, and they're actually really good. And especially if you're in a pinch.
The only breakfast taco I ever liked doesn't exist anymore because Tasuke Market is under new management. But there used to be these natives who owned this little cafe in Tasuke Market. And you could go in and get breakfast tacos, but they used like Hatch red chilies and green chili and like all kinds of stuff in there. And they would make fresh made like ground and everything, fresh made blue corn tortillas, and they were so good.
Yeah.
But I've never had another one I liked.
Something I love about America is that we have access to all this different kind of cuisine.
Yeah. Well, you only get that with different cultures, though.
Yeah. No, that's something that's nice about America. It has its own challenges, though. And what I think is there's a bright future for America if it embraces orthodoxy. Because
you and I are just going to disagree there forever and ever, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the more you learn about orthodoxy, I think the more you'll agree with it, though.
It's not about orthodoxy. It's not any of that. I happen to think that part of what makes us special is not just because we have different cultures and things like that. And that existed even prior to America being America. I mean, not all the tribes had the same culture, right? It's always been a multicultural place. But I think on top of that, that's not untrue. But if you look at what the
I'm
Hopis
here. I
believe,
can't believe it.
if you look at what the Hopis believe,
You guys hear
and
me?
you look at
Hey,
what the tribes
Clay,
believe,
you're back.
it's the same. Hey,
What's going on,
Is
Clay?
that George? Is that George? Look at the baby.
but
Hey,
but
Dr.
I also
Spider.
think it's like,
oh, it's a baby.
I also think it's the idea that we don't all have to believe the same things. You have the right to dissent, you have the right to question, and you have the right to believe or not believe. And I think those are all great things.
Oh, burning bushes. I thought you were waving at me. Gosh dang it. Is that Rex?
What? Who? Oh, DS. DS. Hey, have we met?
Hey, Spider.
Hey, little baby.
No, apparently not.
If you can't tell, Pixie, my kid is half Native American.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I tried to join earlier, but it wouldn't make a connection. I was just trying to see if you guys could actually hear me, because Gangster Ghost decided to do, which is the G word.
Well, StreamYard's really expensive. It's like twice the price.
Well, why can't you guys get together and maybe donate some money so that he'd have to deal with this crap?
Because I pay for my own stream? But I mean, it sounds like you're volunteering to maybe donate. That'd be great if you have the money. I highly support that. In fact, if Gangster Ghost ever wanted to do merch, I'd probably buy some of his merch. I should make some merch too. It's a great idea. Start marketing. Synergy.
Oh, thank you. Are you there, Clay?
Gangster Ghost, you would have a great time merchandising. The kinds of like ideas that you have, and you love
Yeah,
you
making
embrace
memes.
AI. Yeah, you could make so many meme shirts and stuff, and like they would be idiocentric memes, which is a cool thing. It's like basically you'd have to be on the inside and be like, yeah, you just have to watch Gangster Ghost stream to know what this one means. You don't know that Brother Pike don't wear shorts? People are like, what does your shirt mean? And start all these conversations. Be like, I go on a stream called Gangster Ghost. You should check it out sometime. So it would do both things. It would give you money every time people buy the shirt, and it would also promote your channel.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Clay, here's a picture of your son, Plato. You and your son, Plato. See?
It's me and you. Why do you do that? It's so weird, dude. He's like, here's a picture of me and my dad with Clay's face on it.
You and your son, Plato.
Oh, who? Oh, it's Roscoe.
Ooh, I'm
How
gonna
you
miss him.
doing?
Tomorrow night we're leaving for like a week.
Gotta put him down, huh?
Yeah, I can't afford to take him with us, so I gotta go get him euthanized.
Yeah. Every week, Clay would come on with his dog and be like, "Yeah, I'm putting him down this week."
What do you think of Father Pike?
I'm bored of him, and we want a new dog, so I'm gonna take him in to get the shot.
What about Pope Pike?
Pope Pike the Pious.
That's a good dog. When he dies, I'm gonna get the same exact kind of dog again.
Yeah.
What about this Pike? This Pike. Oh, this Pike. This Pike. This Pike.
Throw
Prophet
these
Pike.
on some shirts. There you go.
I went to one of Pike's like IRL church services, and it was just like all some massive timeshare scheme.
I spent $1,000 for Pike's instructions, and all I got were these pamphlets.
Yeah.
And the certificate.
He's like,
I
come
thought
on to
he
my
was gonna
church, and
say-
then we
I
all
thought
leave with
I
timeshares.
thought he was fixing to say, and all he got was this pair of pants
Yeah, I got pants.
because he doesn't wear shorts.
Brother Pike don't wear shorts. I remember I told him that was something that's actually in our church. Like, my priest will not allow anyone to wear shorts in the parish. It's like part
Dude,
of the
I don't even have shorts besides like basketball shorts that I wear like at home for pajamas only.
I wore shorts
I
today.
do wear shorts, but
It's
what
like
I wear
100 degrees
most,
here, and I was
what
wearing like jeans because I just.
I
don't
wear
know.
shorts around the house and when I'm at the beach or on vacation or something. But what I wear like day to day, like going out, would probably surprise people.
Look at these boots. Is this like a country, like a work boot?
You need spurs. You need cowboy
That's
spurs.
what I wear all year, like with jeans, and then these like these kind of like mechanic style shirt, just because I like the look.
I actually wear a lot of dresses. A lot of dresses. A lot of long dresses too.
I never grew up, so like I always, not always, but I wear shirts a lot with like graphics on it. Like this one says, "Neuman just did it." It's given to me by my mother. It's a joke present.
Right now, I'm obsessed with maxi dresses. I wear a lot of those, like all the way to the ankles almost.
Are you a
She
happy
looks-
baby? Are
she
you
looks a lot
happy that a
more-
hurricane was named after you?
Yeah, he takes after the Native American side a lot more than the European side of the family.
She's gonna be
But-
really good at math, though.
Since she's like 50% Native American, she could get some of that like college money or whatever.
You're just prepared for when the Chinese take over.
Yeah. What's weird is all the Asian people in the family are like, "Oh my gosh, she looks just like you," to me, and they're like, "She looks nothing like Joanne," and then all the white side is like, "She doesn't look anything like you.
Yeah, she looks just like Joanne. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because that's something psychologically we have inside of us that like it's something that people think is, you know, I don't know if you want to call it racist or not. But like if you're more likely to be able to tell the differences of your own race when you're like when people, this comes up in forensic science all the time, that like if you're describing somebody who was an assailant and they're of your own race, you can describe them better than if they're a different race.
When she was born, though, like the first month, she looked a lot like me and my baby Pix, and then all my sister's kids when they were babies. But then I'm like, maybe all newborns look alike, and that's
Maybe
why.
she'll be like, okay, maybe he'll be like Super Munchkin was like, if she was, everybody told me how much she looked like me all the time. She looked so much like you. She looked so much like you. But I always thought she looked like her dad. And one time somebody saw like all of us together, and they were like, she is like almost a dead 50-50 mix between the two of you. Like she just looks like whoever she's standing by at this point. And I was like, that's fair.
Look at that chubby face.
So cute.
That's the whole reason we're going to Michigan, to get her baptized.
Glory to God. Is she a pretty happy baby? I haven't seen
Yeah.
too much of her. Like I never see her cry. You know, like. Is she,
she's pretty chill compared to other kids.
Yeah,
Wait,
I think you
she likes
lucked out,
watching
man.
cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, you got a really easy baby to take care of, I think. I mean, there's
They
no
say-
easy baby to take
They
care
say that
of.
about most girls, though. They say boys
Oh,
are
no.
usually pretty bad.
Yes, there is easy to take care of. I thought being a mom made me prepared for some of my nieces and nephews, but it did not prepare me for all of them. I had a really happy baby. A super happy baby. When she cried, it's because she actually needed something, and I could tell what she needed by the way she was crying. She's a super
Yeah.
happy kid.
That's
Not
kind of how
all
we are, too. You could
Not
tell
all of
it's
my nieces and nephews were. Some of them were crying, and it didn't matter what I did. They just kept crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And they would get fussy so easy. And I was like, you were not like my baby was.
Is my volume like extremely loud on this?
I don't think so.
No.
All right. When I watch some of his like clips, it always seems like my volume when I'm on my phone is like really, really loud, and I don't know how to adjust it.
I don't think we'd be able to hear it in the stream because Maud was talking about this on her panel earlier. She was saying that like, see, I don't ever touch my mic. I don't touch my mic. If somebody else touches my mic, great. The only time I touch my mic is on my own stream. But she was saying like it'll sound fine when we're all up here talking, but then when she goes back and listens, somebody will have like a really loud mic. So I don't know if it just like balances out for us and then somebody's loud for the audience. I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I think it depends on the software too, and like what kind of mic you're rocking. Like, can you adjust the gain on your actual input? Like me, I have an external mic, so I can probably do a lot more. I noticed on my stream yesterday, my mic came in way louder on the YouTube.
You need to have a kid, Dan.
I don't. I know.
Just look like any girl on the street. Don't even think about it. Just do it, and then afterwards think about it when it's too late. Like
Wait,
me
what?
and Gangster Ghost.
What? Wait, what are we talking about? Having a kid or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because if you think about it, everyone always feels like, oh, I'm never ready. Like, you know, it's like starting a business or getting a mortgage or something. You never feel ready, and then you do it.
Well, I'd need to.
Oh my gosh.
Need a willing participant in that, Clay.
I did all that backwards. I was young. I was a young mom. I had Super Munchkin. I went into labor on my 21st birthday and had her the day after I turned 21. And I got married right before I turned 22, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did it
I
all
waited. I had my first kid when I was 30, and I was already like married. But I still didn't feel ready, and then I was just like, oh, everything's coming together here.
Oh, you know what? I did not feel ready. He was the calm one, and I was absolutely
Who
panicked.
told you
He was
so,
calm.
Clay? Just remember that.
Like, he was
Both
calm,
counts.
and I was panicked. But looking back, I'm actually really glad that I had her young. Like, really glad. Because she's very high energy very high energy, and I got to go out and just have so much fun with her. So I'm glad I had her young.
It is better. By the time she's like in college, her mom will be like 60.
See,
And
I
I'll be
was
like 54.
she's going into her second year of college, and I'm about to be 41. I was 39 when she graduated.
But it's like there's pros and cons of both, because if you're older, then you could spoil them more and go on vacations and crap.
I got to do that because she's an only child.
Yeah. My thing is, if I would have had a kid when I was like in high school or right out of high school, it probably would have like reshaped my whole life to where I wouldn't have like half the stuff I have today.
Oh, it definitely reshaped my life.
I was
but
able to like
think-
take chances, since all I really had to worry about was myself.
Well, you can look at it that way. But I think on this side, I think it was more like we had to take a chance because we had to do something to make it better than what we were doing now, right? And she had vacations. A lot of times it was like we would go up somewhere close, like to Santa Fe, where somebody and in his family had property, so we didn't have to pay for a hotel or something. We would shortcut little things like that. But like, I think in a lot of ways she was motivation to get where we are a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I have a question. What's gay
Badger
about?
Snake, this 5-figure Seiko here covers up the infinity tattoo so nobody can see it.
Nobody knows.
This 5-figure watch with like a freaking like $30 NATO
What kind of
band.
tattoos I have underneath this thing? All kinds.
You got like a little, like a penis.
Yeah, just wrapped around. Real.
You know how funny that would be if you're like, you think infinity signs are gay.
Yeah,
And
you
just
want to see what
throw
I
them.
did? I can one up you on that story.
Yeah.
Has a Pixie apologized to Pike yet? Oh, I thought it said Pixie apologized to Pixie yet. I read that
The
wrong.
context though of my tattoo.
Oh
makes
no,
it
I'm
like-
never going to apologize to Pike. Pike owes me an apology.
What happened?
We are not on good terms. So he was being like awfully spiteful to Maud one day, and I was telling him that like there was some stuff going on, and I said I said like I don't think it's like bad that you banned her for like timed her out for the reason you timed her out. I just think it's weird because you're being condescending and you're like being spiteful toward her and you're acting like it's an obvious thing when you're the one who has shown a lack of consistency and making it a not so obvious thing, right? And so like we had a back and forth, and like I came up to the panel and we had it like figured out, whatever. And I said, okay. I was like, sorry if I came off harsh, like all of that. We're good, that, but just to be clear, that's what I was saying. And he was like, okay. And so then I left because I don't remember what I was doing. I was walking copper or something. I don't know. And I came back and the stream was still going. So I jumped back in and Pike was in the chat misrepresenting me, misquoting me, and using my name to keep his stupid argument going. And I called him out for it, and he's not happy about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not like hostile toward him or anything. I think I remained pretty calm while he was up here. We're not good. I'm not gonna pretend we are. But on that note, I will be right back.
Dan.
Yes.
Are you there, Clive?
I'm gonna have to get off here, you guys. I gotta make dinner and feed my baby.
All right. Hey, enjoy
Later.
your dinner. See ya.
Well,
Ex-Israel military intelligence chief said 50,000 Gaza deaths are necessary. It's good to know.
Sorry about that. Well, I asked him,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, do you go to church Sundays and Wednesdays?
And Saturday. I go 3 times a week. Grace is nice.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Pray 3 times a day. Go to church 3 times a week.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wednesday. Why Wednesdays? Why not Fridays or Mondays?
So Wednesday, we come because that's when Christ was betrayed, and it's the middle of the week, so it's a good time to kind of recharge our spiritual batteries. And Saturday is really important to just prepare for Sunday. Both Wednesday and Saturday provide everyone an opportunity to confess their sins to the priest, so that they can be, be more prepared for the Eucharist on Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. If you had a wife, how many kids would you have? 1,000?
Whatever the Lord gives me.
Here's this guy, Steve Anderson, who have 12 kids. 12. That was crazy. Can you
Badger
imagine?
says he. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. Sorry. I'm an ultra orthodox. I sweet. We have for that. What do you think, Dan?
Well, it is what it is. Yeah, and as for Missing Mod's question, do you guys ever go out and share the gospel? So not in the way that Protestants do. I wouldn't say that we would go out on street corners and yell at cars. But it's the job of every Christian being every Christian should be an evangelist. We are journalists for the good news, and we're to be a light to the world. That doesn't mean trying to convince people to become an Orthodox in a debate, and trying to pretend to be a theologian. It means that you share your faith in a way that is humble and edifying to others.
Like on like YouTube and TV and stuff.
Well, YouTube can be one way of doing it. There's certainly a lot of darkness on YouTube, so I think it's a place to shine some more light. But it can also be in your workplace. It can be in your school. It could be in a prison. It could be in a hospital. Anywhere out in the community. The internet's just one of those places. Like whatever you're doing in life, there's God's giving you an opportunity to be able to share.
Oh, that's nice. Well, me telling people
So Missing Mod's asking, I mean telling people how to come to heaven, not debating or street preaching. Yeah, so I would say yes to that. If someone asked me, how do you go to heaven, I would start telling them about Christ.
wait a second. That. Oh.
I just got some water to drink. It's good water.
Oh. Nobody says, is that true?
I don't want to. I feel like I'm being put in a spot where I need to tell people good deeds, and it doesn't make me look very humble by saying that. But yeah, I think a Christian, an Orthodox Christian, it's their place. That if somebody comes to them in earnest and wants something like the truth, that you should not deprive them of that. But you shouldn't. You need to have the Spirit, and the Spirit will guide you, and you'll know not to just like insert yourself in a rude way that would actually do the opposite of what you want. You have to meet somebody where they are, and you have to have grace and economia
that's nice. We've been on here 6 hours. Thank you for joining, everybody.
Yeah. And Jess, I know you're joking. Mostly.
He's a crazy guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hidden agenda, Dan.
I need to say, Pixie said her this guy who told her he forgive her for his sins. You ever heard someone saying that?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
She told me about this guy who told her that he forgive her for his sins.
What guy was that? Was that Jesus?
I don't. Some guy named JD, I think, said he forgive her for his sins. Doesn't make any sense. Have you ever heard of something like that?
A guy named JD forgiving people their sins?
No,
I haven't heard of it. No.
He forgive them for his sins. Is that crazy? It's like what
For
on the
whose
bottom.
sins?
I forgive you for his sins. That's a joke, but that came from the guy she was talking about. Is that crazy? You ever heard of that?
Well, Christ forgives us our sins if we ask.
I mean, he forgive her for his sins. It doesn't make any sense. Forgive you for his sins. Is that crazy? Like he forgives Bachelor Snake for the sins you did. It's like that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You
You know what would make this world better if we just had a one world government and the government just like dictated everything that we do.
Oh, like Aiden?
Yeah, like have someone like Aiden Linden in charge of like the entire world. Or maybe an AI system that would have like a digital ID connected to your digital currency that would be able to in real time stop crimes because it can determine that much data with its algorithms and machine learning. We should have that. And bow before the image.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Pixie, for joining. I'll have another one Wednesday.
Okay, good. Gangster Ghost, how are you feeling right now before you leave? Like, how are you feeling like in your heart?
Feeling alright.
Yeah? You feeling the
What about
love?
you?
Do you feel the love of Christ?
Yeah.
Do you know he's in your midst?
Yeah.
He is and never shall be.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh, thank you.
God loves you, Gangster Ghost, and I love you.
Oh, thank you. Love you guys.
And same goes for Pixie and everyone else out there.
Oh, thank you.
See ya. Have a great night. Have a good and safe night. Okay?
You too.